Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass, live and in living color here with you only on Grande's Graveyard. And tonight, it's an impromptu stream where we will rank random slasher movies and random horror movie posters. Yes, ladies and gents, we are here live on Grande's Graveyard. We are kicking off the end of June, kicking off the summer officially with a little bit of an impromptu episode. Now, of course, originally this was planned to be the viewers request show. Of course, back on Grande's Graveyard 300, we had 3 winners. One took the cash. The other 2 took the request to show. One person, of course, requested Sonic. That was Ant-Man. Johnny had requested us to do Mets, top 5 Mets games, but unfortunately, we had to scrap that one. So instead, tonight, we get this fun impromptu slasher movie ranked stream, if you will, where we'll be discussing some random tear-making horror movies up here on the slasher list of fun. Yes, ladies and gents, it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight on Grande's Graveyard. We've got the old school tear maker here. We've got a bunch of fun random slashers. We've got it all from the good to the bad to the goddamn ugly, S, A, B, C, D, and F. And absolutely no regrets here tonight on Grande's Graveyard, as we were going to kick this son of a bitch off in style. But of course, we have a bunch of people in the He's house, so let's see what's going on with y'all guys here tonight on the chat. Ciao, Grande and Graveyardian friends. Welcome, Miss C. Hope all is well with you. Happy Thursday, my friend. This guy's in the crapper again. No, buddy, AJ, I wasn't in no crapper, man. I was chilling. I started on time. No problems here. The Slender Man didn't possess the stream, thankfully. So, you know what? We have to be thankful for these things and not tease the Cemetery Man, if you will. But welcome, Mr. AJ Zetro. Can't believe a Sleepaway Camp movie will be involved. Haha. Well, I mean, isn't it a shocker? Is it not a shocker? I will say, this is not a list that I made. This is a completely random slasher tier maker that I pulled up here. So if you want to play along at home, this is, let's scroll all the way to the bottom. And yeah, you see how many slasher movies. Obviously, we're not going to do all of these. Demonizer. If you go to tiermaker.com, you go to Demonizer, you can find this list. It's going to be random, most likely for everyone that clicks on it. But of course, from Demonizer, we have these fun random slasher movies that we're going to rank on the tier maker of fun here tonight on Grande's Graveyard. It's a little impromptu. I figured I didn't really prepare. I only had a day or so notice before this show was kind of put together. So I let everyone vote on Instagram. It was either this, it was ranking horror movie posters, or ranking George Romero's filmography. And I actually pulled up a couple of fun things that we may be able to integrate all 3 into. So we'll get there. Of course, Ryan Hanley's in the house. He's getting it all out before he goes live. Well, we got to get the shit out. You got to let the shit breathe, if you will. Welcome, Ryan Hanley. Hope all's well with you. John is here. Haddonfield mascot. What's up, everyone? Hope we're all doing well. Excited for this one. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to have you in the house. It's a rigged game with Sleepaway Camp. Well, I do. Sleepaway Camp is one of my all-time favorite movie trilogies. We just don't talk about that 4th Return to Sleepaway Camp. We just don't do it. We don't do it because that movie's just sacrilegious. It's no good. I'm up to 2014 in my memoirs, and I'm seeing Megan Tuesday, and my birthday is coming up in September. I'll be 42. Well, happy early 42nd. Anthony Chobot does pop cultures and openings. Hope all is well with you. Uncle Bill is in the house. Let's go, you maniac. Well, am I a Joe Spinell maniac to you? Because I'm sure Joe Spinell's ass is going to make it on this list. Welcome, Uncle Bill. Hope all is well with you. We got Don Belville in the house. Triple P. What's up, dog? What's up, Don Belville? Hope all is well with you. Mernzies Movie Mansion. Hey, what's up, Graveyard family? What's going on? People saying hi to one another. Mateo is here. Ciao, Grande. Ready for some ranking? Hi to the whole Graveyard clan. Hell yeah, man. So I'm very excited to have you all in the house. I think my water's gone, so I have nothing to cheers, but cheers to everyone for a safe, happy, healthy weekend, and we're going to kick this son of a bitch off. Let's do it. Let's kick it off in style here with the first movie of the evening. I guess it's okay to share them like this, or do you guys? Yeah, no, I think this is probably the best way to go about it. And we'll scroll up here to the very first movie on the list, which is a curveball. This is not a slasher movie a lot of people would think about. This is American Gothic, I believe from like 1987, 1988-ish era. And of course, you have none other than Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo as the leads in this movie. Such a weird film. It's basically a group of kids. It's like your normal slasher movie setup. Group of kids going out for a weekend of fun, and they stumble across Yvonne DiCarlo and Rod Steiger, and they have these children that are all like 50 years of age or older. It has Michael Pollard is one of them from Sleepaway Camp 3 and Scrooge and movies like that. You have these kids that, you know, are 50 plus years old on the surface, but believe themselves to be these 7 or 8 year olds kids. And then one by one, they're picking off these kids in these fun, creative ways. There's a hysterical death scene on a swing set where this guy is swinging back and forth, and for whatever reason, they just chop off the rope. So the guy goes flying off a cliff. I always thought that was hysterical. There's the whole idea of the clean plate club where they're all having dinner, and if you don't clean your plate, it's this whole thing with Rod Steiger. He's just a fucking crazy guy who believes if you don't have if you're not hitched or married, you can't sleep in the same bed with one another. And of course, for a bunch of horny teenagers, that's a recipe for disaster. So I don't know, this one is bizarre. It also has an insane ending where one of the lead characters, like our final girl, she lost her baby. Like her baby died in the like a tub drowning accident, and the lady by the end of it fucking snaps and becomes a killer and rebels against the family, but she's lost her fucking mind. It's fucking crazy. I sort of have a soft spot for American Gothic. It's nothing great, it's nothing groundbreaking, but I think it's a solid B. I don't know. I think it's a B. What do y'all think? Are anybody a fan or have seen American Gothic in here? Because that's an obscure one for sure. Bunch of people saying, we got Texas said hi, Ola Grande, welcome Texas. It would be more of a surprise if Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 wasn't in the conversation. Well, you guys know those are my faves. I do love those movies. I see my Mernsey, people saying hi. The thing about the horror posters is how they scare you before you see the movie. Absolutely. Slasher Fred checks in. Mernsey says, very nostalgic poster. It was in our local Jumble video to this day. Still never seen it. Merns, I think you'd like it, man. I highly recommend American Gothic to anyone who hasn't seen it. It's bizarre. There's nothing else quite like it. It's just such a weird movie. You introduced me to this, wasn't bad. Yeah, it's like a B. It's nothing top tier. It's nothing to run home about. But, like, you do have some good veteran actors. Like, I'll always like Rod Steiger. I love Yvonne DiCarlo. I'm of course, was you know, Mrs. Munster herself. And then, of course, Michael J. Pollard. It's got a decent cast. I like the movie. I love the SAC trilogy. Oh, Sleepaway Camp trilogy. I haven't seen it. It's been in my eye for years. SAC trilogy. You mean Sleepaway Camp? I'm sorry if I'm mistaken what you're saying here. Let's see. Same here, Mernsey. I remember the poster from the video store, but I've never seen it. It's an awesome poster for sure. There was once a TV series called American Gothic. Okay, so yeah, American Gothic. I think it's a solid movie. I don't think it's anything bad. Here's one that AJ Zetro hates, and a lot of people, I think Mernsey hates this one too. I actually have the one sheet of this signed by Amy Steele, and it's a movie that I've always really been a fan of, even though I do know it has its haters out there. It's April Fool's Day. Yes, April Fool's Day from 1986. There is something about April Fool's Day that always drew me to it. I've always gravitated towards that movie. And I think the biggest reason right off the bat is that it was made by Paramount. Of course, this is a movie that Frank Mancuso Jr. was the producer of, a movie that came around right around the peak of Friday the 13th. Of course, Friday the 13th, part 5 had come out the year before, and then part 6, Jason Lives, comes out in 1986 itself. And obviously, it's a, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a black sheep, if you will. It's a horse of a different color. It's not like every other kid on the block. Hence the tagline, which is a cut above the rest, which is the tagline of this movie. Of course, as these group of kids, they go out to their friend's house, of course, played by Deborah Foreman, who I think is electric in the movie. I really love Deborah Foreman's nutty, wacky performance. I think she's a lot of fun. Amy Steele is one of them, of course, circa Friday the 13th, part 2. She's the lead. And we have a ton of, again, really, really good, like, character actors in there. You have Biff from Back to the Future. He's in there. Like, really good cast. I like the ensemble. And I think the movie is a lot of fun. It's a good setup. And, of course, the most controversial thing about it is the finale where, okay, we promoted ourselves like a slasher movie. We've shown the poster, which looks like a slasher movie poster, and we worked you A, B, and C. So certainly D must be true. Certainly the first 2/3, 3/4, whatever you want to say of this movie was a straight up slasher movie. Isn't the ending supposed to be? Well, they dropped the other hat. And of course, the twist at the end is that this was all a ruse, and this was all a setup to this big murder mystery getaway weekend that, of course, Deborah Foreman was trying to set up. I don't know. I like this movie a lot. I always had a great time with it. Again, I love the look of the picture. It has that Paramount feel and look and vibe, of course, with the same people pretty much making this movie that made all the Friday the 13th movies. Of course, it also has the director from When a Stranger Calls, which is, again, When a Stranger Calls is not a great movie, but I would say the opening scene of When a Stranger Calls is really good. Like, that's a movie where the opening is really good, where the rest of it kind of falls flat. Whereas this, I think most people like the movie until the ending, and that's where it falls flat for people. I know this is going to sound nuts. People are not going to like this rating. I know, I just know, but I'm sorry. April Fool's Day is an undoubted A-tier slasher movie, in my opinion. It's got a little bit of everything. It's missing, of course, in the gore department. It's missing, of course, in the creative kills, right? These are things that you want for in a slasher movie. But I thought it took cojones to do what they did. No other slasher movie around this time was doing something like this, where at the end, it's a big rouge. At the end, we're going to flip the script and be like, hey, you know what? This is not really what we presented itself to be. That, and I thought it went with the holiday, right? April Fools. It's not what it seems. It's right in the title. It's right there under your nose from beginning to middle to end, but yet I found it really entertaining, and I really liked the character interactions. And instead of these gory, over-the-top kills, we instead get this crazy over-the-top finale with this big kind of we got you moment. I like that personally. The 4K from Kino looks insane. I highly recommend, if you're a physical media collector, get that 4K. It looks fucking insane. I love April Fool's Day. I'm an unashamed fan, but I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of shit right now. Let's see what you guys have to say in the comments. Oh boy, God damn you! Oh, so God damn, you're doomed. You're all doomed. I watched Madhouse 1981 today. Very reminiscent of Happy Birthday to Me. Wasn't great, but held my attention. Just okay to me. Madhouse is a Video Nasty, I believe, and of course, Happy Birthday to Me is one I think is on this list. I triggered him. The ending is garbage. Okay, so Mateo was with it until the ending, it sounds like. I'm with you, Mateo. Total prick tease. Oh, boy, don't you be prick teasing AJ Zetro. It just sucks. It's all fake. ... The dramatic dots. Same reason I hate The Village. That's fair. Listen, that's a total fair criticism, right? I mean, I can understand you're going in there to see a slasher movie. You're going in there to see yits, boobs, and blood, and mayhem, and all the things in between. I understand how that can be considered a prick tease, but in my humble opinion, in my defense of this particular movie, and again, this is just my kind of way of looking at it, you had how many movies around that time that were doing that exact same formula day in and day out? It felt like every other weekend there was a slasher movie coming out in the 1980s. At a point, I think in 1981, there were 52 slasher movies released in 1981, the year of the slasher. You had one for every week. I mean, it's insane when you fucking sit there and look about it and think about it. But April Fool's Day is the one that said, no, I'm not going to do it that way. We're going to not end it that way. And listen, I can understand hating it for that reason. But at the same time, I think there has to be on the other shoe the people that will embrace it for that reason. And I'm one of those people. I met Amy Steele, and everybody and their mother's going to want to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2. And I like her a lot in the movie Friday the 13th Part 2. Don't get me wrong. I want to talk to her about this. And she was so happy. She said to me, and I quote, "There's always one of you." That's what she said to me. And she went, "I'll sign it. Ha, ha, ha. Real funny, you guys." And that still have that up there to this day, the one sheet of April Fool's Day. It was really cool to meet Amy Steele. Very nice lady. And still looks great. My God. I don't know if you call this a slasher movie. I picked Sleeping with the Enemy. No, I wouldn't consider that a slasher movie personally, but that's not a bad film. God bless Tubi. They keep me watching movies I've never heard before. Tubi's a big deal, man. To be or not to be. The Village is terrible. Yeah, anything M. Night Shyamalan post Unbreakable is pretty fucking bad. He hasn't made a good movie in like 25 years. Saw it for Amy Steele, enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I know Don Belville is a big Amy Steele fan. Total A, awesome. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. American Gothic has been on my radar for years. Autocorrect fumbled that. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because it's like SAC or something. April Fool's Day, solid B for me. Okay. 4K, it giant shit in 4K. Oh, man. If you watch the trailer at April Fool's Day, it feels like a dinner party and I love how they tease you. Like, I love, there's a lot of gags played throughout the movie. I don't know. They really embraced the holiday. The same idea was in the movie The Game with Michael Douglas, and a much better movie than April Fool's Day. It's funny. as much as that's a movie where I'm with it for a little while, but I think it's a little too overlong for me. It's not a bad film. I like Michael Douglas. I like the director. I don't know. There's just something about that movie that just it loses me in the middle of it, and it's fine, but just not one of my faves. The Game is like middle of the road for me. But April Fool's Day, I really like. Let's move on to the next movie on this random list here. And oh man, I don't know if Uncle Bill's still in the house, but I know his co-host CK, the Creepy Kentuckian. This is one of his all-time favorites. This is a Don Jones joint, of course, I believe from 1982. I'm talking about The Forest. Yes, The Forest from 1982. Now, Don Jones was a different type of cat. Don Jones was a unique filmmaker because he made horror pictures that were reminiscent of stuff that was coming out at the time, but he was always one to keep it fresh some way, somehow, right? Of course, he did Schoolgirls and Chains in the early 70s, and that, in a long way, feels like Psycho meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets all these exploitation grindhouse drive-in movies that were coming around the pike at that time. And yet Schoolgirls and Chains felt so much different from the rest. The Love Butcher is another one I love. Yes, ma'am. I love The Love Butcher. And of course, the slasher movies were being pumped out in 1980, 1981, respectively. Why not make The Forest in 1982? And it's not just your straight up slasher movie in the woods, even though it's sold like that, it looks like that, it tastes like that at times. It's certainly that type of movie on the surface. However, what I think was really smart about The Forest is it's a lot of other things integrated into it. There's ghost children in the movie. Of course, you do have the lead killer, Gary Kent, this weird cat that had his wife cheat on him with the refrigerator repairman. Yes, that happened. The refrigerator. It's one thing for your wife to commit a fidelity on you, but when it's with the refrigerator repairman, I mean, that's when you just got to jump off the next cliff. I don't care how far or near it is. I'm just jumping. But my wife cheated on me. Oh, did she cheat on you with someone successful, someone rich, someone with money, someone charming and handsome? No, she fucks the refrigerator repairman. Well, fuck, I'm jumping. I mean, that I always let that see, while it's hysterical, it's crazy at the same time. And of course, Gary Kent, it wouldn't be just enough for him to be a serial killer in the woods. No, he's also a cannibal, because why the fuck not? And there is an eerie scene that I always loved in The Forest. It's the story of two couples. You have, of course, I think one of them is husband and wife, the other one's boyfriend and girlfriend, and they go out to the forest for a weekend of camping. What could possibly go wrong in 1982 in the woods, in the middle of the fucking woods? And they're basically camping around. The two men split up while the two women split up. Gary Kent comes across the women. He picks them off, and his idea is, let's fucking make them into barbecue. He starts to cook one of the women, and then of course the two men stumble upon him and they say, oh my god, we haven't eaten in days, do you mind if we eat what you're eating? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he passes over the piece of meat, and it happens to be one guy's eating his own wife without knowing it. That is one of the most unsettling, chilling scenes in any slasher movie to me. Like, the idea, the psychology of that. Like, oh, you're hungry? Here, have a piece of your wife, and I'm not going to tell you. Like, that's holy shit, man. I have a hard time watching that. I think that is absolutely terrifying. And I don't know, just something about Don Jones cinema. Like, that guy, he was so ahead of his time and made such different, unique pictures. Even though, like I said, they are reminiscent of what was coming out, each one of them sort of had their own unique style and flair to it, where I always kind of gravitated towards it. I really like The Forest. I don't know. See, it's tough to put it in like the A tier, because this is a movie made on no budget, really no good acting other than Gary Kent. This is a tough one to put. I'm going to say like B plus, somewhere in that area for this one, because this one is just not, I don't know, not one of the better ones, but at the same time, nothing bad either. A little bit above average. I hate the ending of The Game. And yeah, see, there you go. There's somebody that hates the ending of The Game. Hey, man, I'm fixing a refrigerator. It costs a fuck ton of money. Yeah, exactly. It does, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the refrigerator repairman, maybe they do really well for themselves. I don't know. But I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's one thing to get cheated on, but by the refrigerator repairman, I mean, that's fuck, man. I don't know. I don't know how I'd react to that. Eyes Without a Face is such a success. Okay, Eyes Without a Face. Night 90 Robert's in the house. Hello, Grande. Hello, Night 90. Welcome, my friend Robert. Okay, so let's move on. Sorry, to the next movie on the list. Oh boy, so I think this one's from the late 80s. I forget what, I want to say 89, I think this one came out. And of course, it's Cutting Class. And everyone remembers this one for being with Brad Pitt. And it's nothing special. I mean, it's your quintessential, typical high school horror movie where, of course, you have Brad Pitt as the jock / bad boy. You have our lead, who is as boring and bland as a fucking, I don't know, she's just boring. And then you have the nerdy kid, and it's set up a lot like, okay, we want to sell Brad Pitt as the killer, and then of course our lead and this nerd guy are going to rebel together against him and overcome this. Well, this is another slasher movie that kind of turns it on its head. So spoiler, if you haven't seen Cutting Class, which came out fucking, I don't know, 35, 36 years ago, the big twist in Cutting Class is Brad Pitt's not the killer. It's this nerdy kid that has a crush on our final girl. That's the whole twist on it. We're pushing you to think it's Brad Pitt, and then the whole twist at the end is Brad Pitt's actually a good guy. It's this fucking nerd guy that ultimately is this killer wannabe. And I don't know, I thought that it was a decent slasher movie. Nothing great, nothing to run home about. The real main memorable thing about it is that, yeah, it's Brad Pitt in the movie. Like, that's really the only reason that anyone would ever watch it or grab for it. It's just kind of one of those, whoa, there's Brad Pitt. You know, it's even predated the Tales from the Crypt episode that he did. I mean, this was really one of the first things. I don't think it predated the Freddy's Nightmares stuff, which I know he was on an episode of Freddy's Nightmares in like the late 80s as well. So it is cool to see a fresh young face like that would go on to become such a megastar. But the movie itself, not very memorable. It's going to go in like the D tier. I don't really like Cutting Class that much. It's sort of forgettable. Doesn't look like anybody had anything to say about Cutting Class. So that moves us up to the next one right here. Fatal Games. Yes, Fatal Games. Holy shit. I'll tell you right now, anybody wants a free, I will not even charge you other than the shipping. Anybody wants a free Blu-ray of Fatal Games with the slipcover on it, you hit me up, man. I hated Fatal Games. I got scammed by Vinegar Syndrome. There's no doubt. I got scammed with that one. I mean, this comes out in 1984, and it tells this. It's almost exactly like Graduation Day. If you've seen Graduation Day, it's very, very similar to that. And it tells the story of these kids. They're on this like javelin team, if you will, or sprint team or track team or whatever the fuck team you want to say. And what happens is they're picked off one by one by a mysterious masked assailant, and all of the kills in the movie are with this harpoon item, and that's it. That's really it. That's all you get in this movie. And the kills are horrible. The transfer I thought was awful from Vinegar Syndrome when I saw that. I don't know. I thought it looked like a glorified VHS, and I paid like $30-something for the Blu-ray slipcover. They did their best with the artwork. I thought they made it look like a good movie, and that's, I guess, Vinegar Syndrome's gimmick, right? We'll release 10 movies. 2 out of the 10 will be good, but we'll make them all look really good. Oh, that's right, the javelin. That's right, it's a javelin. Sorry, shove the javelin up your fucking ass with this movie. I don't know. I don't like this at all. It has a sleepaway camp-esque ending where the killer is like the track coach that's a woman, but she's really not a woman. That's Unhinged. Try that around this time. I like Unhinged better than this. As dull as that movie is, I would watch it over fucking Fatal Games. Sleepaway Camp tried it around this time. I mean, a lot of movies were doing that. Of course, St. John's Wort. A lot of movies try to do that at the end where they switch the gender or the sexual orientation, if you will, of the killer. That is what it is. That's fine. If you love this movie for that and you think that was a great cutting edge thing, I'm sorry, you have terrible characters. You do have Linnea Quigley in there, and Linnea Quigley replaced somebody because they wouldn't show their yits. And funny enough, she does Silent Night, Deadly Night this same year of 1984, which that is a lot fucking better movie than this. Fatal Game's going to stay right there. I hate Fatal Games. I think it's a piece of shit. I really do. I will never, ever watch that again. I won't. I would give the Blu-ray away. That's how much I did not like it. Don says, had a crush on Jill back then. Yeah, no, she was pretty, of course, from Cutting Class. There were many classic movies in the 80s, like Class of Nukem High and Class of 1984, which sort of had a remake of Blackboard Jungle. Okay, Cutting Class 199 times over Terrifier. A Slippy Mearnsey. I'll take it. I enjoyed that movie. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. Maybe it was just me. Video Games cheesy as fuck. I enjoyed a lot. Okay, so it seems like I'm in the minority on this one. If you guys want to give me your letter grades for these, please do. Javelin. Let's see. I had fun with it, but like $7 fun. Yeah, not fucking $35 without shipping fun, which is what I fucking paid. Lots of nudity is all it has going for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to see Linnea Quigley naked, granted, throw a rock and you'll see a fucking movie with Linnea Quigley naked. Fuck, watch the fucking Silent Night, Deadly Night. Watch Don't Go Near the Park. Watch fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Watch fucking, there's 100 other movies you could pick before you'd watch this. Chopping Mall has a sort of shitty charm to it. What a beautiful slip too. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to get some money for that slip because I don't want it in my collection. Cutting Class is trash. Fatal Games, also trash. Well, Brandon is here and he has just spoken his piece. Is that 2 Fs for you, Whopper Horror? Because if there's anybody that's the most, I think, critical of horror movies, is this guy right here, Whopper Horror. So if he really puts your movie over, you know you've done something right. But I'm assuming you mean double F. I'm going to keep, I would think Cutting Class a D. I'm not going to give Cutting Class anything worse than a D. But man, if this is a Fatal Game's got to be an F for me. Hello. Body Parts from 91. This movie feels like Twilight Zone. Jeff Fahey's character loses his arm, gets his arm from a serial killer movie. Also has Brad Dourif. Okay. Yes. Whopper's in the house. Whopper's throwing out F's like he's a teacher. He's throwing out F's. He's failing you. He will fail you all. Here's a movie that's not an F, though. Here's a movie from 1981, the year of the slasher itself, of course, which was directed by the late Tobe Hooper, a movie that was shot in Universal. I believe this was a Universal Studios film, and this is, of course, The Funhouse from 1981. Now, this is one I've always really liked as well. I liked the setup of these kids going out to the Funhouse, the carnival, if you will, and, of course, the Funhouse ride in said carnival. I love how this movie develops. We have these kids that are just out for a night on the town, just out for a night of fun, right? And they go around this carnival. You have, of course, the one actor who's playing the Barker, but several different characters of said Barker. And, of course, these kids go around and they're riding these rides. They're seeing these goats with multiple eyes, cows with 2 heads, and all of these things around the carnival. I love how they kind of drop you into that world, how Toby dropped you into that world of the fun house and the carnival and all that, and the beautiful colors. I believe this was a movie that Tobe Hooper had shot on the anamorphic wide lens, so it has a very distinctive look to the picture. I really like that. So no people give credit to Toby for how good he was from a technical standpoint. His movies may not all be that good. Some of them are really bad, but I think The Funhouse is one of the better ones for me. And I just really like the way he used the camera and the way they use colors in this particular picture. And of course, the kids get locked in the Funhouse, and there's this killer monster who, of course, after getting a hand job from a gypsy, he I guess, climaxes a little too early and goes fucking bazonka, and he starts killing off everybody in this fun house because he ejaculated too early. It happens. Come on, we're only human in Grande's graveyard. I hope so, at least. If we're any monsters in here, shout out to the monsters. I mean, The Funhouse is an awesome movie in my opinion. I've always really liked it. I love the movie. I think it's just a really underrated flick that not enough people give discussion to when it comes to the career of Tobe Hooper. A lot of people say, oh, Toby's a one-hit wonder. I got a few words for you. Salem's Lot. I've got another few words for you. The Fun House. I really like those movies. I really like Life Force. There's a lot of good Tobe Hooper movies. I don't think the guy was a one-hit wonder. I do think he made one perfect film, and some directors will never make one perfect film. They'll make a lot of good films, but never that one classic masterpiece. I'm not saying The Funhouse is that. I do think it's a damn good slasher movie, though. And for me, it's going to come into like the A tier. I think The Funhouse is a damn good one. I think it's a solid A tier horror movie. I always really liked The Funhouse. I think that one is definitely deserving of a really good spot on this list. So let's see what you guys have to say in the chat, though, because I'm always stoked to hear your thoughts. I've never seen Fatal Games. Well, Robert, I consider you lucky, my friend. Don't ever watch it. If it was on Tubi or something, I'm a sucker for bad movies. I don't know. Maybe you would like it too. I have no idea, Miss C. I've never seen The Funhouse. Okay. Funhouse is a classic. Funhouse, love it. Fever Dreamland Theater's in the house. Scratch Burno is in the house. What up? Scratch Burno, I watched The Iron Rose, my friend, and Honestly, it was a little bit middle of the road on it, but I do appreciate the recommendation, and the 4K looked incredible. So thank you again for that recommendation from a few weeks back. Haddonfield says S tier for me. Okay, cool. I could see putting this in the S. I personally, for me, S tier is like creme de la creme. I don't know how many movies will make the S tier, but I mean, that's one that it's in the conversation. Whoppers, okay. Whopper only gets a C for me. Great setup, location, directing was good enough, but it just needed better writing. Maybe a couple more characters and maybe some actual gore whatsoever. All right, so Whopper gives it the pass. C for Whopper is like an A from you and me. So it's a C is for Cookie. Fucking C. Whopper giving you a C is a good thing, man. Let's see. Mateo says Funhouse is solid, is great. A solid A. Okay, solid A. People giving out the A. Okay. Love that albino monster at the end. He's great. Yes, I love that fan kill. I wish that was a really crazy kill where that one girl like, please, no. And then he thinks, oh, okay, she's coming to me, and she stabs him in the back. And you do not stab a monster in the back that is ejaculated too early, goddammit. I'm back. I may have to exit the stream early. My Wi-Fi's acting up. No worries. Stay safe in the storms. My wife didn't want the poster for the Funhouse up. Didn't I send it to you? It's up in my room. The one sheet of the Funhouse is up in my room, thanks to the legendary Don Nice, man. So thank you for that. That is always, I thought that was a very nice gift for you to send. So thanks. Alice Sweet Alice, this movie. Oh, I love Alice Sweet Alice, right above my head. See, that's one I'm more in the park of it being a giallo than a slasher movie, but I guess, they can go hand in hand. They're like Bay of Blood has giallo elements, it has slasher movie elements, right? And then there are some American pictures that do that too. So if you consider it a straight up slasher movie, Alice Sweet Alice would be an S for me. And it might even be on this list. I don't know. Like I said, this list is completely random, so I don't really know what, obviously, other than I could see, comes next. Like I didn't order these in whatsoever. And this is proof that I didn't order them in any way, because this next movie here is a fucking F, and it ain't moving from there, buddy. I'm talking about this movie from 1980. Home Sweet Home. Come on, Graveyard. Sing it with me. I'm on my way. Don't watch this bullshit. Home Sweet Home. Oh, my God. You want to talk about one of the biggest, worst, terrible slasher movies in the history of cinema. I don't even know if you can call this cinema. It's so fucking bad. Home Sweet Home is a Thanksgiving holiday horror movie. Yeah. Oh, what about Thanksgiving? And what about Thanksgiving from Eli Roth? And what about Blood Rage? Those ones all get talked about. Those ones people know. Not a lot of people. Only if you're a real, I feel like George Romero, only if you're a real troll do you know what Home Sweet Home is. Home Sweet Home is a fucking disaster. Body by Jake. Yeah, Body by Jake. If you're from the 80s, you know who the fuck that is. If you're from my time, you probably won't know. But Body by Jake was like this, I don't know if you'd call him like a Richard Simmons, but he was like a fitness guy. I don't know what his title would be, so forgive me for not knowing exactly what you would call him, but he was like a body influencer of this time. He was this guy that was really, really in crazy jacked shape and stuff like that. And he plays our killer in this movie as this killer who has escaped a mental asylum and is on his way home, not for Halloween, Michael Myers, but for Turkey Day. Yes, and of course, he's on his way home to meet the most boring bunch of assholes I've ever seen in my fucking life. There is a scene in this movie where Body by Jake jumps on the hood of a car like a body frog splash and cuts a person in half. But you don't see anything other than Body by Jake jumping off the fucking top rope like he's the Ultimate Warrior doing the splash on the Hulkster, brother. It's bad. And the entirety of this movie is essentially people sitting in a fucking house just talking to each other. Oh, hey, so-and-so does magic. Oh, so-and-so thinks she's a mime. It's just a bunch of people sitting on the fucking couch. And it's somehow got an 80-minute slasher movie out of it. Somehow, some way. I don't know if there is a 4K. I mean, there's definitely not a 4K. I don't know if there's a DVD release. I don't know if there's a Blu-ray release. But if there is, shame on you. Whatever company put this out on Blu-ray or DVD, shame on you. Shame on the mothers that bore them. That is how bad Home Sweet Home is. Nobody should watch it. Don't watch. It's fucking awful. It really is. It's not F for failure. It's an F for fucking awful, because that's how bad Home Sweet Home is, in my opinion. But let's see what y'all have to say. Never Sweet Alice either. Okay. Home Sweet Home is a giant F. Yeah. I mean, that to me, that's why, like, it's not as bad as Cutting Class. I mean, Cutting Class is not as bad as Home Sweet Home. That's more along the lines of, like, I saved that F column. It's as sacred as the S column. Damn, please don't tell me Wi-Fi made me miss Grinding talking about the Fun House. I'm sorry, I just did talk about the Fun House. Love me some Home Sweet Home, deliciously. It's so bad, it's good. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know about that. I remember Body by Jake. Okay, somebody remembers Body by Jake. There you go. It at least has 16 seconds of Thanksgiving-related content. Well, because it's got to be essentially around that holiday. Holy shit, man, the movie stinks. The laziness of that film is insane. It really is. I agree with Whopper. It should be studied how lazy that movie is. It's just a bunch of people. Now, I will say this. Cool little fun fact that I don't even know if people who have seen the movie know this. There is a weird kid in the movie that is pretending to be a mime for most of the film. That weird little kid is Vanessa Shaw. From Hocus Pocus, from Eyes Wide Shut, from the Hills Have Eyes remake, so many movies, Vanessa Shaw. So I was like, holy shit, that's her as a little kid. What a horrible first break for her, man. Holy shit. Like, I would totally never have that on my resume that I was in this piece of shit movie, man. Home Sweet Home, the worst podcast ever. Home Sweet Home. Oh my God, horrible. I don't believe it was ever even made it to DVD. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is a DVD or Blu-ray. I don't know. That's why I'm not sure. I'm not going to bury the people that promoted it if they never got released. But I don't know. I really don't know if there's a DVD or Blu-ray out there. Not going to lie. I actually enjoy Fatal Games, even if the movie is dumb. Captain Skittles chimes in. Welcome, Captain Skittles. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I was hyped. I bought it. I pre-ordered it. I was so excited. I was like, a slasher movie from the 80s that I've never seen. How the hell can I not buy this? And then when I got it, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I got scammed. Like, usually at least the transfer is good, but fucking Fatal Games look like a bunch of shit. I've seen VHS transfers better than that Blu-ray. Like, what a travesty. And then people fucking the marks. Oh, well, you have to understand that the original content, original camera negatives, that's the best they can do. I don't know why I sound like Dr. Phil when I bitch at people, but holy shit, man. No, you can't defend that. It's horrible. Spiral Staircase, classic suspenseful movie, precursor to the slasher genre. Okay, you're an amazing singer. Thank you. I try. You can watch Home Sweet Home on you. Missy, why the hell you recommending that movie to people? Don't you waste your time on Home Sweet Home. Instead, maybe spend your time watching this next movie from 1981. One of the best of that year, in my opinion. A movie that seems to be sort of beloved. I don't know how people would feel about this movie. It seems mixed. It has its lovers, it has its haters. This is The Burning from 1981, of course. Don't breathe, he'll hear you. Don't move, he'll see you. Don't look, you're dead. I always loved The Burning. I know some people won't like me saying that, but I always really liked the movie. I think it has, of course, the classic Tom Savini effects. He, of course, passed on Friday the 13th Part 2 to do this movie. You have the great raft scene, one of the infamous slasher movie scenes in history of the slasher genre, really, of Cropsey jumping out of the canoe and chopping off all Fisher Stevens' fingers and slashing the lady in the head. I mean, that massacre scene is one of the best ever. And I like the characters. I like the whole, God bless her mom and dad. I love that. You have the greaser guy, Glazer. Let's build us a hot fire and we're going to live under this. Like, that fucking bad New York accent. I don't know. I have a good time with The Burning. I think it's a really good slasher movie from 1981. I always thought it was really entertaining. I love the score. I believe from Rick Wakeman, the like that score. I believe this was the first movie ever done by the Weinsteins, so they could burn in hell. They can literally burn in hell, no pun intended, but I guess it kind of fell into it. Decent actors. I don't like the lead guy. I always thought that guy was a fucking pussy, personally. I don't know. I never really liked the lead character in this. They definitely needed a stronger lead than him. But other than that, I kind of really liked the movie. I'm sorry, the Burning is probably an A for me. I really like this movie. Always have, always will. I think it's a damn good one. I know I have the Blu-ray of this. I don't know if that one ever came to 4K, but that's another video nasty as well. I really like The Burning. That's just me, though. Let's see what y'all have to say. about The Burning? Okay, The Burning is a damn classic. I watched it last week. Okay, Savini, Costanza. Yeah, that what better duo than that? I still have to get The Burning on 4K. Okay, so there is a 4K. Most people absolutely seem to love it. I really love it too. I think it's a really good one. I like the campfire setting and the story of Cropsey. Let's stare the shit out of Cropsey. I love that. I think that stuff is all really good. I enjoy The Burning, not as much as most people. Solid B for me. Okay, I think that's fair. Strong B for you. Okay, so it sounds like regular B for Don, B plus for Ryan. Well, in case of Fatal Games, Grani, you have to understand the original camera negatives. Yeah, exactly. Like, you always have those nerds that'll come out of fucking left field and be like, well, excuse me. I'll be like, no, excuse me. This is shit. Like, you can't call a spade, then just go to the side. I will call the spade a spade. You leave no fucking questions asked. It's getting a B just barely because the last 15 minutes of the main character are terrible. I would say the main character is terrible. I don't know. The last 15 minutes, I agree with you. It slows down. It's not a great finale. I don't mind the unveil of like the lead head counselor was one of the kids that did this to Cropsey. You know, I liked that. But like, if you do think of the logic of Cropsey, it doesn't make much sense. Like, he got taken out by these kids, burned alive, whatever. He wakes up, crispy fucking Big Mac. I love that guy. The orderly in the hospital. I always love that fucking guy. He grabs him in the arm. The whole idea of him getting out of the hospital, then for randomly just killing a prostitute. Like, what does she have to do with anything? He's just trying to get his dick wet. But no, he's just killing a bitch. That's it. That was all that happened. I don't know. Weird. Really weird. Let's see. Jason Alexander was great in Shallow Hal. Haven't seen The Burning in so long, but I liked it. I like it too. The Burning is good, but it's next level cringy when you know who wrote it, and the attitude towards female characters yucky. Okay, fair enough. I mean, they produced it. I don't believe to my knowledge, they didn't write this, the Weinsteins. But The Burning, I think, is an A. I like the movie. I think it's a slasher classic for me. I really like the flick. Talking about all-time classics, though. We're going to have our first S-tier movie. And of course, I'm not even going to tease and say it's in the F column right now. We're deciding this thing. No, we just take this one right to the top. Our first S-tier of the night, Black Christmas from Bob Clark. A movie I've talked about to death. I don't really know how in depth you really want me to go here on this. And I don't know if it's really necessary. It's really one of those movies that says everything it has to say for itself. There's really nothing I can do to add to its legacy or importance. I think it's one of the all-time great horror movies. I don't even know if you just classify it as a slasher movie. It's somewhat something more to me. Of course, Bob Clark, who was this up-and-comer at the time in Canada, had made movies like Death Dream by this time. Of course, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And then he comes here to make Black Christmas, which I have always said it feels like the bastard brother or the adopted son or adopted brother stepchild thing of course Mario Bava's Black trilogy, right? You have Blood and Black Lace, you have Black Sunday, and you have Black Sabbath. I always felt Black Christmas, it fits right in with those movies. It has that same dread, that same aura, the usage of the colors and the Christmas lights and the season. The humor, I think, in the film is really something that people sleep on and don't quite like. Olivia Hussey, may she rest in peace, is a great lead. I love Margot Kidder, rest in peace. Keir Dullea as the grieving, he doesn't want her to give up the kid, and the whole thing with the piano going horribly wrong, and they use him as this giant red herring, and the freaky phone calls. How about you lip your pretty pussy? Why don't you stick your tongue in a wall socket? That'll give you a charge. I'm going to kill you. The heavy breathing. The finale at the end, the hair pull, John Saxon. Come on. If you don't love Black Christmas, I mean, I get it. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like Black Christmas. This is not a movie that I hear is universally revered as a Halloween, as a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not. It really isn't. You have a lot of people. I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say Black Xmas is a better movie than Black Christmas 74. That to me is like, wild to say, but there are people that do feel that way. So if you do feel that way, that's cool. For me, I mean, you really can't beat it. It's such a fucking great movie to me. I love it from top to bottom. Black Christmas, an undoubted, unquestioned S-tier horror movie. Let's see. The Burning has a very young Jason Alexander before he was bald. That's right. The whole God bless my mom and dad. Harvey is in the writing credits. I never knew that. I didn't know that. I thought they had only produced the movie. Black Christmas, one of the best 3 slasher films ever made. Yeah, it's, to me, that's a quintessential. It's got to be in your top slasher movies. Like, it doesn't have to be number 1, but it's got to be in like the top 10, I suppose. Black Christmas is an S for me. It's in my top 10 movies of all time, maybe top 5. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. It's a great movie. It really is. It's like one that it never loses its impact. It really doesn't. Bob Clark is an underrated, amazing director. I agree. And it's funny, you know, like you're talking about a guy that made a movie about Christmas horror, right? And then makes 10 years later, makes A Christmas Story, which is like one of the biggest cult Christmas movies of all time. So much so it plays 24 hours every Christmas Day on TBS. So he's made arguably the best Christmas movie in separate genres. So that's pretty cool. May he rest in peace. S all the way. Yeah, no doubt. I agree. It's an S all the way. Black Christmas is like a murder mystery. You never see the killer's face. Black Christmas getting an A, which coming from Whopper Horror, that means it's a fuck, you know, you can't beat it. John Saxon, rest in peace. Absolutely. The GOAT, the greatest of all time. Brienne is in the house. Grande, do you prefer the newer Black Christmas? Really? Okay, wait a minute. Do you mean the newer one with the black ooze and the girls in like, oh my God, that was horrible, with Imogen Poots and stuff? If we're talking about the one with all the hot women in the house, Black Xmas, that one I could see over the 2019 movie. The 2019 movie's bad, but yeah, a lot of good looking women in the 06 movie at least. Apologize, just look Barbie, Bob W, Harvey W, story still creepy though. Okay. The reveal where the caller is still in, oh my God, dude. One of the all-time great endings is the pan out from that house as we hear the phone ring and they leave Olivia Hussey in the bed as we pan out and the credits just roll and it's just cold. There's no music. There's no Christmas carols. It's just ice cold. Oh man, what a great ending. I love that one, man. Black Christmas original, A+, totally, yep. No, the hot women one. Okay, the 06 movie's better than the 20. I can see that. That's fine. A lot of people probably agree. I've heard several people say that, so you're not alone. No, definitely not the newest one. Okay, fair enough. I'm happy to hear that because that newest one was for the birds, if you will. As we move on to our next one here, oh my God. Oh no. Do we have to talk about Final Exam? Oh, Jesus. Final Exam from 1980. This is a bunch of shit. This is horrible. This is barely even a slasher movie, really. This is about a bunch of dumbass college kids, and I think they got the bright idea, let's try to combine Animal House with Halloween. Why not? Who is the killer? It's never said. He just fucking shows up. He just shows up, he's wearing a baseball hat, and he's killing people off. And that's the movie. That's the movie. There's no good kills in it. There's no good characters in it. It plays out like a fucking bad National Lampoon's direct-to-video American Pie movie, like American Pie Book of Love. All that was missing was Eugene Levy in this movie, fucking coming up talking to people about fucking pies. That's all they were really missing. This was exactly like American Pie meets Halloween, but with no gore, no good killer, no good explanation, no good backstory, no good nothing. It's an F. It's boring as sin. There's not one good thing about it. I hate Final Exam. Totally not moving from the F column. Horrible movie. Like in my bottom 10 slashers. Getting the D. Okay, so you would put, I couldn't give this the pass. I really couldn't. There's just nothing redeemable for me about it. I don't know. The one with the frat boys was so bad. Yes, it was. I agree. That was a terrible movie. American Pie presents Final Exam, right? Doesn't it have a ring to it? Like, and of course, you get an F on your Final Exam. Like that, it's just fitting. It's doing the whole letter grading system. I don't know, man. For me, that's a slam dunk F. Really boring. The absolute cardinal sin of a slasher movie is to be boring, right? At least April Fool's Day, whether people don't like it or not, at least it's fun. You have good characters with fun quips and quirks and things like that. It's colorful. This is the opposite, man. It's how do you make American Pie meets Animal House meets Halloween boring? And they found a way to do it. I'd watch Final Exam 5 times in a row before cutting class. I would actually say I'd watch cutting class over it, but I mean, shit. you're comparing D's and F's here. I mean, I didn't put, if I put Cutting Class at a B, I can see your argument. And I still hate Final Exam. Yeah. Final Exam, F. Yeah. Horrible. Boobs, blood, and mayhem. Isn't it a beautiful recipe? That equals a better grade on your final exam than Final Exam. So it is what it is. That's one of largely skippable. Coming up next, though, man, you want to talk about why I'm a fan of horror movies. I'm not sitting here right now today as a horror movie fan if it wasn't for this next movie, of course, from 1980, Friday the 13th. I know, again, that this is a movie that has not aged well for people. I hear a lot of people more so say that the sequels are better. A lot of them pick part 4. A lot of them will say part 3. Some say part 2. I've heard people say Freddy versus Jason. I've heard people say Jason Goes to Hell. I've heard a lot of people say, there's movies that are better than the original Friday the 13th because they find it dull, they find it boring, slow, what have you. I respect all your opinions if you feel that way, because I know it's a majority. I'm in the minority for thinking it's one of the best slasher movies ever made. But to me, it really is. Not just for what it did for the slasher genre in 1980. I really think this is one of, if not the most influential horror movies of all time, right? Of course, Halloween made a lot of money in 78. They said, let's rip it off. And in 1980, this movie made just under $60 million. And to this day was the highest grossing Friday the 13th film that there ever was. None of the other Paramount movies ever topped Friday the 13th in charge of the box office way. So it's wild. I mean, everything about it, the way the movie opens, young kids singing around the freaking Kumbaya and all this stuff. And of course, they get picked off, and we get the Friday the 13th as the glass breaks, and we get the great Harry Manfredini score. I mean, just the greatness of Tom Savini with the arrow to the neck to Kevin Bacon and the axe to the head of Marcy. The, of course, camp setting of Camp Novi Bosco in New Jersey. The whole idea of the ending with Betsy Palmer, someone who we had become familiar more at seeing as someone as a guest on Hollywood Squares, and they somehow made her feel so evil, so sinister, but yet at the same time sort of justified because of what had happened to her son. They never should have opened this place again. Jason was my son. His name was Jason. Today is his birthday. I mean, she's so good in that finale. The way she delivers those lines, that performance, to me always elevates this thing up a little bit more. Right when she shows up, it's like, oh man, like they don't make them like this anymore. I always love that reveal. The final battle between Adrian King and Betsy. I love that stuff. The whole chopping that off and the grabbing for the Tasso Stravakis. I love that. And of course, the jump scare at the end, Ari Lehman, Jason himself jumping out of the boat and grabbing Adrian King down. My God, what a great movie. I love Friday the 13th. Sean Cunningham did a really good job with this. Again, I know another guy that a lot of people want to shit on, say sucked. Listen, he may be one where, yeah, he might have been a one-hit wonder, right? Not a lot of great Sean S. Cunningham films. The New Kids I like, that's about it. I don't know, maybe Deep Star 6, but that's a stretch. I really like Friday the 13th. I think it's a movie that really helped me become a fan. It's one of the first movies I ever remember renting and just completely being enamored and drawn into it and was like, I got to see more of this. And I swear to you, I know for a fact I'm not sitting here tonight on Grande's Graveyard. There is no Grande's Graveyard without Friday the 13th, man. I think it's an S, slam dunk, signed, sealed, and delivered, man. Love, love, love Friday the 13th, the original. I know people are probably going to hate it, but let him hate away. I think Friday the 13th belongs in the S tier. It is definitely one of the quintessential slasher movies ever made. S tier, okay, coming from Brandon, that's saying a lot. S tier, I am with you. S tier for sure. Ghost in the Machine is a very cool sci-fi movie, okay. Friday the 13th, hell yes, the movie that made me a slasher fan. I would second that. I'm a fan because of this movie. It's a giallo. It has elements, right? I mean, of course, Bay of Blood, which was Mario Bava's film from 71, they have that whole, 20-minute portion of it where you have the kids getting picked off one by one in the brutal ways. Of course, you have the shish kebab kill that would be used in Friday 2, and you have the girl on the dock. And I mean, I think there definitely is a lot of that inspiration from Jolly in there. It's not a straight up giallo, but it definitely had elements and inspiration. I also would say that it has a lot of the makings of a Grindhouse movie. Like it's a very low budget, made on the budget of like 550,000, I believe. So this movie was not made for a lot of money, but yet they still were able to capture something. Friday is one of the funniest franchises. I love the absurdity of the movies and the inventive kills. I agree. I love the Friday 13th movies. Saw it as 7 years old at the drive-in. Oh man, is there a better way to see it? I'm jealous, man. Friday the 13th, another class that helped me get into horror at a younger age. The boat scene at the end will always stick with me. So look, it looks like it helped a lot of us become fans. Like that's so cool that this movie is so instrumental. And of course, for the 45th anniversary this year, on June 13th was Friday the 13th. I saw this in the theater on a Friday night, man. It was just so special for me. Like that is always one of the movies that I will, herald, even though I know a lot of people say it does not age the greatest. Friday the 13th is a murder mystery. It keeps you guessing who the villain is. It creates a list of suspects, right? And it's none of them because the killer is someone you never meet until you meet them. I love the paranoia when Alice starts to realize what's going on, what's going down, S tier. Yeah, that whole, where's Mr. Christie? I couldn't let them open this place again, could I? And the look what you did to him! Killer, mommy, killer. The whole, the idea of that, what a freaking genius Harry Manfredini was. Kill mommy, killer mommy, killer. I love that. It's right there at the beginning, but you would never be able to put two and two together until you see it. Betsy Palmer's acting and dialogue pushes it into the S tier. I agree. She really, I'm telling you, she elevates an A to an S. It's just her alone. And what I thought was amazing was she hadn't acted for like 8 years leading into this. She hadn't acted for 8 years. And she just comes off the call, needed a new car. Bam, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Friday 13th, A+++++. A lot of pluses. Mernsey with the hot take. No, Mernsey's on the money, I think, most of the times. The killing of Kevin Bacon is a ripoff of the Baba killing Bad Blood. Absolutely, it is. There's no doubt. Listen, nobody can argue the impact Bay of Blood had on the American, slasher movement. I don't think a lot of these movies happen without Mario Bava making Bay of Blood. And that's Bay of Blood is another S tier. I don't know if it's on this list, but it's another S tier. Again, another one where it blurs the lines a little bit between slasher and giallo. I say giallo, but it has the elements of what the slasher movie would go on to become. Funnest, not funniest, my bad. No, you're good, man. You're good. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Rebecca De Mornay. Yes. Very cool. I did not think of that one. Victor Miller gets a lot of credit from me. And Victor Miller showed up at the screening. We did a Q&A after. It was so freaking cool to see. So shout out to Victor Miller. Really, really cool guy. I got to ask him a question about that scene where Kevin Bacon and Marcy, and he's talking, they're talking about it. And he says, it's going to storm. And she tells about that dream she had where the rain turns to blood. And I asked him, I'm like, that whole dream discussion, that's foreshadowing this whole rest of the movie, right? And he's like, yes. He goes, a lot of people don't mention that, but he was like, that's one of my favorite scenes that I got to write, is that it's basically telling you right there that they're all doomed. You're all doomed. Where's Crazy Ralph at? Betsy didn't want to do it, though. It was a piece of shit. Yep, she's right. Betsy did not like it, which I'm happy she eventually did do it. I'm glad she needed the money, because without Betsy Palmer, I don't know if that movie is as high as I put it. But here's another one that I think is really one of the all-time greats, and this is from 1989. I always call this the last great slasher movie of the 1980s. I'm talking about Intruder. Yes, Intruder, from director Scott Spiegel. Then, of course, like everybody in the Raimi family, Ted Raimi's in it as a victim. You have, of course, K&B doing the effects before they were called K&B, right? This movie was shot in 87, doesn't get released till 89. This was worked right around the same time where K&B would have worked on Creepshow 2. And Intruder is the perfect slasher movie to me. Like, I've always considered one of my top 10 slasher movies from top to bottom. And a lot of that is because of one word, and that one word is creativity. We don't have a lot. We have no-name actors. We have a grocery store, a single location. What are we going to do to make this thing feel energetic, exciting, make it visually interesting? How do we do that? And of course, Scott Spiegel's idea was, well, what Sam Raimi did with Evil Dead was he made the camera like another character in and of itself, running around the woods and people being possessed, and not just people being possessed, but the lamps being possessed, and the floors and the chairs and the furniture and everything in their fucking papaw was getting possessed in Evil Dead. It was all because of this great camera movement from Sam Raimi and how he was able to make that camera feel like it was alive. They're alive, Ashley! Intruder's another one of those movies, while not as groundbreaking and, of course, praised as an Evil Dead, or as good. It's not as good. I think it's the slasher movie version of it, because how many cool, fun things can we do with a freaking camera? Let's put the camera in the grocery cart. Let's put it behind stocking shelves. Let's put it in the middle of a phone eye when two characters are talking. One's on the phone and you watch his conversation through the phone. I love that, man. I love that. The kills are incredible. K&B, obviously not officially as K&B due to the effects here. Oh my God, the guy like gets like this part of his face cut off, cut completely through with like the meat cutter. Holy shit, that's crazy. You have Ted Raimi with he gets the cleaver to the back of the head while he's cutting up the watermelons and listening to the Sony Walkman. You got the one guy getting crushed by the press. I love that. And to me, a finale that nobody talks about is Danny Hicks. May he rest in peace. Danny Hicks is so fucking crazy in the finale of this. It has to be talked about more. Don't you see? I'm just crazy about this star. He is unbelievably great in this, as this guy who was co-owner of this grocery store and didn't want to sell it. And he was like, I will fucking murder the entire Night Crew, which was the original title, was Night Crew. I'll kill you all to keep my store because I'm just crazy about this store. And the fucking lead spits on him. She spits on it, gets on his chin, and he just licks it up and smiles. And I dude, every time I watch it, I pop. I just think he was what a crazy motherfucker, jumping from aisle to aisle. And here comes Bucky fucking Parker walking down the I-95 with a sandwich in one hand and a severed head in the other. Danny Hicks, man, may he rest in peace. He steals this thing in the finale. Love his performance. Great kills, really fun, quick paced, a fun, good setting for a slasher movie. A movie that feels like it was made in 1981, even though it came out in the latter half of the 80s. Barely made the 80s, right? Because it did get delayed a couple of years. What could have been for Scott Spiegel? I think Scott Spiegel could have been a big deal, but unfortunately just didn't really ever follow up with anything worth a shit. You got From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money, and you have fucking Hostel 3, which is basically The Hangover with Hostel mixed. It's fucking horrible. But Intruder, no doubt for me, I know a lot of people are not going to like this either, but no doubt for me is an absolute S-tier slasher movie. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I love Intruder. Always have, always will. I think it's super underrated. Needs some more love, in my opinion. Let's see. I think we were here. Intruder has some of the best kills ever for a slasher. S tier for me. I'm with you. I'm really with you. I really, really, really enjoy the kills in the movie. I think they're great. Seeing Intruder uncut was the holy grail of slasher flicks. Yeah, no, that was a big deal when I have the Synapse Blu-ray, I believe. And from what I understand, the 4K is coming. But I don't know whether it does or not. Getting the movie uncut was a big deal. And it's funny, if you got like the DVD of it or the VHS, it spoiled who the killer was. I remember that the first time I had ever rented it, the cut version that is. If you read the back of it, it reveals that Dan Hicks is the killer. And it promotes that like, Bruce Campbell's in this movie. He's in the last like 2 minutes as a cop. It's a nothing role. But of course, they had to put his name on the marquee. Intruder was such a guilty pleasure for me. I love it. I agree. I love it too. I'm not even feeling guilty about it. Like, I just love it. I don't know what it is. It just always worked for me. Intruder gets a B, but just barely misses, solely given for the kills and Danny Hicks's performances. Yes, I'm happy you agree with Danny Hicks, because I think his performance is so fucking fun in this. Like, he's electric in it. A+, totally. Uncut all the way, AJ. Okay, yeah, no, totally agree. I'm with you guys. The uncut version is the only way to go with this particular movie. Let's see what we got coming up here. Now, I will say this before we go on to the next one here, and I've had a lot of fun doing these here tonight. I did tell people I'd also like to do posters. We've done this for about an hour. I don't know. Do people want me to switch to posters? Because I had two things in the sleeve for posters. I've got random ones, and I also have, because I know the other selection on the poll was to rank Romero's filmography. Alpha Romero this past week happened to do a Romero posters ranked. So I could pull those up. We could just rank movie posters in their George Romero ones. That would be a fun one to do. If people want to do that instead of the random posters, I think that would be a fun way to kind of please both people that voted for those sides. So that's something I just want to throw out there. But obviously, I'll do some more of these. But then I do want to switch to the posters eventually. So we'll totally stick with this for now. But we'll move on in a little bit. Coming up next, curtains. Now, curtains was one. I forget if it was, I want to say it was Synapse that put it out. I had never seen Curtains until Synapse put it out, I believe in like 2013, 2014-ish, somewhere around that ballpark. And it was a movie that had been lost for a long time when it comes to like seeing it in any decent quality. I believe, VHS copies were the only way to get it. And when they released the movie, the Blu-ray really helped clean the movie up. And that was another one that was like a big deal when it came out, because now we could see all the shit that we couldn't see in the VHS transfer that was cut to shreds as well. And I like the idea of it. It's about a woman that she gets basically tricked into staying in a mental asylum, and then basically there's a killer with this weird mask and a sickle. There's this infamous scene where the killer chases somebody on the ice. That stuff's really good. The rest of it, though, is sort of forgettable. I'm sort of in between where I feel about this one. It's one of those I'd really have to rewatch it to give it my undivided attention and give it a more proper rating. But because this is a show I threw together in a day, we're going to go with the middle ranking here, and we have a first C of the night. Yeah, we have a first C here. As we look at our list, we've got, what do we got? 3 S's, 3 A's, 2 B's, a C, a D, and 3 F's. So, yeah, that's what we have so far. Let's see. Intruder, B, didn't love it. No tier rankings. Almost positive I saw Curtains in the theater as a kid. Okay. Curtains is an F. Curtains is a D. Curtains gets a C because it has the most potential I've ever seen wasted in a horror film, LOL, but it's not the filmmaker's fault since almost half the film negative was burned. Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. And I don't know. I agree with you. It does have a lot of potential. And from what I saw, I liked it for the most part. It's just not one of those movies that are memorable or one that I go back to all that much. So that's why Curtains, I think, lands in like the C category here. What's up, everyone? Ghostface Brett's in the house. Curtains is Canadian. Well, so is Mernsy. Mernsy is Canadian. Mernsy will be on the show in a couple weeks where we'll be discussing Spike Jonze. Spike Jonze's career. That should be a lot of fun. Oh, here's one we could largely go quick with. Prom Night. Oh, God. I hate Prom Night. I know Spooky Nick always gives me shit about liking this or not liking this movie. I don't care. This is a horrible movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, Prom Night. It's fucking horrible. The horrible prom night. Everything is all right. Prom night. Horrible, horrible shit. Horrible characters. Horrible kills. Horrible killer reveal. I don't like Prom Night. Prom Night could stay in the fucking. I can't pass Prom Night. It sucks. I'm so on the fence of if I should give this like a D-. I don't know. Maybe somebody could convince me, but I will fucking say I don't like it at all. It falls apart the last 30 minutes. Yeah, I remember that too. That's basically what I was in the. It has some interesting, like in the beginning, there's a great sequence where she sees this doll and it's pouring rain and she kind of just walks up to the doll. I love that. It's a whole dream sequence. That was great. I was like, what the fuck, man? Where did the rest of this go? You're right. That's a good way to put it. It's wasted potential. So it's good, Whopper. Oh boy, Merns is going at this guy. Curtains was a yaw fest D tier. Okay. R.I.P. Leslie Nielsen, though. Absolutely, R.I.P. Leslie. I love Leslie Nielsen. Prom Night's a D. Prom Night scared the shit out of me as a kid. Did it really? Wow, that's surprising. I don't know. I never sucks. I like part 2. You mean you like Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2? I like that one way better as well. And I know that's getting a special edition coming. Prom Night is a classic. Really? You like Prom Night's a classic. So what would you give it as a letter? Would it be an A or an S for you, Fred? D- because the remake is an F. That's a great point. I'm convinced you're right. That is such a good point. If the remake is an F, then the original, yeah, you have to give it the D- just based on principle. So yeah, I'm with you. Prom Night is dated. Come on, brother. Classic A tier for nostalgia alone. Really? I don't really have much. It sounds like you and AJ have some nostalgia for this one. I saw this right around the time where I was like, let me track down all the Jamie Lee Curtis ones, right? There's Road Games, which Stacy Keach, what I like. Then there's this and there's Terror Train, which both fucking suck. I mean, holy shit. Horrible, man. And then AJ and fucking Mateo stole the worst prom night or terror train. That's like saying what is worse, like this venereal disease or that venereal disease. That they're both horrible. I would say prom nights. I fucking can't watch prom night. I get like physically, like I can't sit still when I watch it. So fucking bad to me. It was funny. This is a great story too. It doesn't even involve me really. It's something I just saw from, I guess, the third person. I'm at the all-night slasher-thon, right? They're showing all these great horror movies, Child's Play and Nightmare on Elm Street, and I mean, a ton of really, really good ones. The last one they show was prom night. And we're at the end, and you get free breakfast and some money back if you stay the whole time. So we're staying. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. We're staying online to get fucking bagels, and then we're trying to drive home. This couple in front of us, you could tell they were not horror movie fans. They were there because the people running the show was like their buddy, and they wanted to stay to support him. And he goes, guys, I know you're not horror fans, but what did you think of all the movies? And he goes, those first 4 movies, great, really liked them. And I don't like horror movies. He goes, but that last movie, man, what was it, Prom Night? And he goes, that was a bunch of fucking shit. It was like, I belly laughed. Just the look of this guy's face, like of a normal person that doesn't watch this shit like you and me. From an outside perspective looking in, liked the first 4 movies of the marathon, but the last one nearly killed him before he could get the cream cheese on his bagel. I mean, that's, to me, one of the all-time funniest fucking things. I love it. Well, at least it took place at an actual prom, and at least half the last half of the movie, just Deke. Movie kind of like Friday the 13th didn't age well. Okay, which had the worst remake, Prom Night or Terror Train? Oh, the Prom Night remake's worst. Prom Night remake's like rated G. It's the fucking guy from That Thing You Do is the killer. Like, what the fuck? Terror Train was with the girl from fucking Hocus Pocus. Thora Birch was in that. And I don't know, that was not a good movie either, but I would watch, at least it had something over the Prom Night remake sucked. That you might as well watch a Disney Channel original movie over that. Kill me before making me watch Terror Train again. Yeah, killers are coming. The killers are coming. Yeah, no, for the birds. For the birds. Next up, oh my God, well, we've been talking about this one enough. Mario Bava's Bay of Blood. Again, one that you could consider more a giallo than a slasher movie, but I think is one that paved the way for slasher movies. One of the most influential, has to be in the S tier for me. Actually, man, that ending might bump it down. I'm in between. It's like an A, but that last the ending with the fucking kids shooting the gun and all that, man, that is horrible ending. So maybe that ending takes it down, but the rest of the movie is perfect. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. For its influence alone, it should override the shitty ending. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back. It's got to be an S. It's got to be. For its influence, it has to be an S for me. AJ, these kids are killing me. Oh no, we're killing them. The original Dirty Harry is a slasher movie. Andrew Robinson is so great playing Scorpio. Really love Andrew Robinson. I love him in Hellraiser and Cobra, movies like that. I really like him. He's a good actor. I always preferred its title, Twitch of the Death Nerve. Oh, dude, totally. Twitch of the Death Nerve is a way better title. A Bay of Blood is so good. Yeah, Bay of Blood getting an A. Yeah, no, honestly, it should be an A because that ending is so like, what? Like, the rest of the movie was this and Mario Bava and yes, and then what the fuck was that ending? It was just bizarre, but honestly, the rest of it is fucking perfect. So yeah. Dr. Hogg is in the house. What's up, Grande? Dr. Howdy 666. Fresh 1 week off of hosting Fulci Lives Film Week, man. Always doing a great job. And hey, man, this guy just had a birthday. Not unlike Mateo. Last week, we wished Mateo a happy birthday in here. Somebody wished this guy a belated happy birthday. Dr. Hogg is in the house. Happy belated, Will. Ashamed to say I've never seen Bay of Blood. Holy, oh, Jesus, as Jordy Verrill would say from Creepshow. Dude, I fucking highly recommend it, man. It was studied. It really was studied by Americans. It changed the West more than it changed even where it was at. It was a really big deal, in my opinion. Bay of Blood's great. A, love it. Yeah, no, honestly, it's A or S. I give it the S only because of the influence. It's an A otherwise to me. That ending just really takes it down a full point. It's such a bad ending. Another movie that deals with the game going horribly wrong, like Prom Night, is House on Sorority Row. I think that's on here. I saw that on here. Oh, yeah. Bay of Blood is beauty. Totally agree. Happy belated. Grande the best. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Bay of Blood has to be an S for me. It's not a slasher. I like the Italian title, the Italian chain reaction. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, it has to be an S, but I know you would agree with me that that ending is a little silly. People say happy birthday to Dr. Hogg as we move on to the next movie on the list. And yeah, I think the next movie on the list is another one that I don't really have to go too long on. The original John Carpenter's Halloween. I mean, there's no discussion here either. It's got to go with the S tier as well. Do I really? I mean, do we have to talk about Halloween? It's great. John Carpenter does a great job directing it. The Shape, Nick Castle, Jamie Lee Curtis, the great score. One of the most influential movies ever made, and one that they are still trying to recapture the lightning in the bottle of, but they never really seem to be able to do it, aside from maybe one or two of the sequels. I love Halloween 2. I love Halloween 4, and I like Halloween 3. The first 4 Halloweens are really good. After that, don't watch any of them. Halloween 5 on, don't watch any of them. Watch 1 through 4, and you're okay. Anything after that, just don't look. Don't look now, if you will. A bright and shining S. Well, Haddonfield mascot, I would think that has to get an S from you, man. I would be shocked if it got any other letter. Halloween only getting the A from me. Okay, so not an S from Whopper Horror. That's interesting. See, to me, this is one that exceeds when you're talking about your personal preference. I'm sure there are some people that personally have movies that they'd favor over this. But as far as its importance and part of its impact, I don't think you can give it anything other than S for me. But like, I totally A is good, and coming from Whopper Horror, and A means it's like a triple S. Halloween, never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know, that movie with Jamie Lee. I think Dr. Howdy actually didn't have a birthday. He's a liar. Is he? Well, if he's a liar, then I accidentally wish him a happy birthday. So it is what it is. H2O is a blast. H2O, interesting. I'm not a big H2O guy, but that's a Neo horror movie for sure. Fatal Attraction, okay. Halloween, come on. We don't have to waste our... Halloween's fucking great. Halloween D? Really? Wow. I'm shocked. Halloween H2O is my favorite Halloween scene. Really? That's shocking. Not a fan of the Halloween franchise, but the first one is a classic. A for me. Okay, that's cool. I was going to say, holy shit, we have 3 people in a row that's not a fan of Halloween. Halloween's great. I agree. 1 through 4 is good. After that, don't watch any of them. Let's just skip it. Ryan, hell yeah, love H2O. I think I'd have to agree. Wow, a lot of people like H2O. Huh. Look at all the love for H2O. Not a Halloween fan. Wow. All right. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not after part 4, so I mean, I guess we have that in common, right? I like the first 4 though. Let's move on. Let's see the next movie here. Oh man, this is one that's super underrated. I'm still waiting for a good Blu-ray release of this. This is, of course, from our good buddy, the late great Ruggero Deodato. Talk about Body Count. Yes, Body Count with the late, great David Hess as well. David Hess is in this movie as one of the characters. And this is basically your Italian ripoff of a Friday the 13th movie with, instead of a killer in the woods with a hockey mask, it's like this giant Yeti / monster creature in the woods killing these kids off one by one. And David Hess is like on the outskirts looking in. I always really like Body Count. I think this movie totally deserves a Blu-ray. I've heard people say they think it's one of the best slasher movies that no one talks about. I don't know if I'm there, but I definitely think it's one of the better ones that not enough people give enough discussion to. I like Body Count for what it is. I think Ruggero does a good job for me. So I don't know. For me, I'm going to say Body Count comes in at like a B. I think Body Count would be a strong B for me. I like the movie okay. I think it's good. I think the actors do a good job. I think the kills are fun. It's fast-paced enough. I like Body Count okay. I think that's one that I could totally give there. D for Body Count. Never seen Body Count. Well, that makes sense. It's really not a widely available film. They need to do a Blu-ray. I know there's a bunch of rights issues, but I mean, it is what it is. B, I love the setting in Body Count. Okay, very cool. David Hess was a savage on screen. Highly agree with that. David Hess was one of my all-time favorite actors. Just loved him. Halloween is very suspenseful. The opening has such a great scene. It makes you wonder how a child could do something so horrible, right? The killing the sister and Judith Myers. Really good stuff. That's a great classic opening. That is Body Count. Let's see. Oh, man. I mean, do we got to even discuss this one either? Sleepaway Camp 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies. S tier, no questions asked. I'm sorry. I love this movie. Pamela Springsteen is the fucking GOAT. Pamela Springsteen in this role, playing a psychopath, is great. The outhouse death of shit and being drowned in shit and leeches and piss and scum and everything in between is amazing. I love the look who's on TV. Great. I love this. The poster alone, and we'll get into posters. We'll do like 10 more minutes of this, but we'll get into posters. I love Sleepaway Camp 2. To me, a perfect slasher movie, a quintessential slasher movie. I love the comedy in it. I love the kills in it. Just everything about it. The self-awareness before self-awareness was really a thing, in my opinion. And just overall, the direction, the writing from Fritz Gordon. I love this movie. I really, really love Sleepaway Camp 2. If you couldn't tell, I'm a big fan of the Sleepaway Camp sequels. Let's see. Not Ruggiero at his best. No, it's not. I agree with that. S tier, bitches. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, man. S tier. There's no, and I will say, man, like a lot of people, when I say that, like they'll be like, why? Like I know a lot of people, they're like, they love the first one, but when you talk about the sequels, they're like, buddy, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, watch it. There's so much more to it than people give it credit for. To me, like I think it's so much more than just a dumb slasher movie. It's everything to me. That's why I always love that movie. You got those Scream Factory releases on lock, even though from what I understand, there's a lot of controversy around those releases, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I had to. I can't pass on fucking Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 on anything. I really can't. Sleepaway Camp 2 is C tier. Thanks for being my friend until today. No, always. Don Belmont, we're always friends, man. Thank you for being my friend, even though I put Prom Night in the D tier. So you know what? We can't agree on everything. Me and Grani go to camp at Camp Waco this summer. Dude, let's do it. Let's invade that private property. I want to get an Angela's back. I'm taking that wall with me. And that's going up in the man cave. Angela's back. I love that stuff. One of my favorite part twos ever. I love Sleepaway Camp 2. Just can't ever get enough of it. Sleepaway Camp S tier, baha, only on the graveyard. Sleepaway Camp 2 is great. I love it. It's no demon wind, Mercy. What the heck? Now that, Mr. Hadley, that is the hot take for birds for the night. Silence of the Lambs, the novel by Thomas Harris, is a sequel to Red Dragon. It mentions the character of William Graham. Okay. Sleepaway Camp 2, yeah, that's a slam dunk. There's no fucking discussion that needs to be happening here. Let's get a couple more. Let's do some quick ones that I'll just gloss over because then I want to jump to posters in like 5 minutes or so. Bloody Moon from Jess Franco. Jess Franco didn't like making slasher movies. This is something he kind of got forced into doing. Everyone remembers that great saw blade decapitation. Granted, the rest of the movie is sort of him poking fun at slasher movies, which I always thought was kind of clever. But it's not his bag. It's not his style of film. It's like a C. It's not one of Jess Franco's best movies. I love Jess Franco, but that's not one I grab for Jess. Like that's the one to me that if you don't know Jess Franco, that's most likely the one you've seen because a lot of people then they go, oh, we made a lot of slasher films. Like, no, not at all. He was about showing skin, not showing gore. It's like a C to me. Let's see. What's the next one we have here? Child's Play 2, A. I love Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 is really good sequel. How's it hanging, Phil? The whole finale in the toy factory and Andy going to live with the foster parents and the foster sister played by Christina Leese. I really liked her. Really energetic, really crazy. The whole teacher getting beaten to death with a ruler. I love that. I don't know. Child's Play 2 is great. I think Child's Play 2 is a really good movie. I have a blast with Child's Play 2. A damn good sequel. A movie that's like just as good as the first one to me. Let's see. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Total A. I think this is one of the best Friday the 13th sequels. Great characters, great direction. Of course, from Joe Zito, Crispin Glover and the Wacky Dance. Of course, you have what's her name? Judy Aronson. Unbelievably beautiful, and to this day looks great. Crazy Tom Savini effects. The meat cleaver to the face. Hey Ted, where the hell's Corkscrew? Getting the meat cleaver to the face. So good, man. Like, just a really, really good slasher movie overall. Like, it has everything. It's got great characters. It's got a lot of skin. It's got a lot of great kills. It's got the fun finale with Corey Feldman. Jason, don't you remember shaving his head and tricking Jason into fucking coming and getting whacked with the machete? A really good one. If you're going to watch a good Friday the 13th sequel, that's definitely one that I highly recommend. Let's see. House on Sorority Row, like a C. It has its moments, but it's a little bit dull. The kills are totally what let it down. There's not really a lot of good kills in the movie. It has a decent enough finale. I like the setup more than I like the payoff. This is a movie I've actually seen in the theaters, and I don't know. It's one where it's middle of the road. House on Sorority Row is middle of the road. Just Before Dawn, really good one. Jeff Lieberman joint. I have the Canadian VHS of this one, Merns. And I would say B plus to an A minus. I'll go A minus. I like Just Before Dawn. I always liked it. It's got really good atmosphere. It's got that great scene with the drawbridge, like this giant long bridge that these people are walking across. And then on both sides of the bridge, there's these twin brother giant killers that are shaking the bridge up and shit. I love that. I love the crazy finale where she shoves her entire fist down one of these guys' throats. I thought that was crazy. You have George Kennedy in there. Really good one. I like Just Before Dawn. I always like Jeff Lieberman. I think Jeff Lieberman's a really good filmmaker. Let's see. Child's Play, really great one. I would say A for me. I don't know how long we have to go on Child's Play. Let's get through as many of these as we can. Let's go up to, I don't know. We'll just keep going. Blood Rage, I loved when I first saw it, but Blood Rage now has really aged like shit for me. It's like a D or a C. I'm going to go with a D. I don't really like Blood Rage anymore. That's one movie that's just aged like fucking milk to me. Halloween 2, S, no fucking doubt. Love it. My favorite of the Halloween movies. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I think it's great. The Mr. Sandman and the whole hospital setting, great. Love Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is great. I think that's the best Halloween movie for me. Always just had a big, like, really big love for that movie. Edge of the Axe is like a D or a C. I would say it's a D, yeah. Madman, I have a blast with, and that's also a slasher movie that's made so close to home. I can't put it with the A. I can't. It's like a B for me. I don't know. Madman's a B. It's a great movie. I love the lore of the campfire telling of his horror, lost in the woods with the madman and the stars. Come on, Graveyard, don't laugh at his tale. Heed if they call him. The legend lives, beware the madman boss. I love Madman. I think it's another one where, like, I always just thought the story of it was great. Like the whole, if you say his name above a whisper, the madman comes to get you. The cheesy hot tub scene. Don't you want to know where the flowers grow? With Galen Ross, or aka Alexis Dubin from Dawn of the Dead in this, as they're swimming in the hot tub together. I mean, holy shit. Madman's a fucking hysterical movie in a lot of ways. I have a good time with Madman. Madman's a strong B for me. Let's see. Couple more. Sleepaway Camp 3. Man, come on. Teenage Wasteland is the GOAT. This might be my all-time favorite slasher. It's the number one slasher movie I've watched. Like, I don't think there's a slasher movie I've seen more times than Sleepaway Camp 3. And Shout Factory should burn in hell for not releasing the uncut version of Blu-ray or 4K when they fucking could have. So that's my gripe with them. But they are not called Scheme Factory for a reason. Let's do like a couple more here. Silent Night, Deadly Night. A. I like Silent Night, Deadly Night a lot. Great holiday slasher movie. And then Sleepaway Camp, B. I always thought it was not as good as the sequels, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that. If it wasn't for the ending, it's like a C. My Bloody Valentine, total A. Classic slasher movie. One more. Let's do one more. Toolbox Murders, like a D. Great opening, great 30 minutes, but after that, it just fucking crumbles. So this is my slasher movie rankings, if you will. And we're going to move on to posters, which should be a lot of fun. But let's see what y'all have to say in the comments. I'm sorry. I've completely neglected y'all. I'll breeze through these, and then we'll do some posters, and then we'll call it a night. Let's see. House and Sorority Row gets a C. Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. Madman, boss. Just Before Dawn getting to B. Yeah, I think a B is good. I'm the same way. House of Sorority Row is a C for B. The remake is a total guilty pleasure, though. Yeah, a lot of people like the remake. I've heard a lot of people put that movie over. I was surprised. Just Before Dawn, a D. I like Just Before Dawn. Just Before Dawn is underrated, okay? Child's Play 2 became the first movie in the franchise to introduce teenage characters like Kyle. Really like Christina Lisa's character of Kyle in that. Child's Play gets an A. Blood Rage is an S. Yeah, honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, I love Blood Rage. I've rewatched it like 2-3 times since, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, that's one of those movies that just plummeted for me. Friday 09, Friday 4, Friday 6, those are my top 3 of the series. Wow. Hot takes on Friday 2009 being number 1. That's a pretty hot take. Oh, dude, Blood Rage has some great kills. I'm telling you, the first time I watched it, I was like all for it. And then I saw the movie in the theater. And I figured, dude, theater, big crowd. This is going to be a lot of fun. It was one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen in the theater. Like, everybody was just dead. Like, the reactions, dead. Like, non-existent. Blood Rage, S tier. Halloween 2 is a C. I think Halloween 2 is perfect. I really love Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is an A. I prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Birds. That's just like crazy. That birds with hot takes for days. Edge of the Axe is a C. I think I went D on that one. Halloween 2 along with Friday 13 2 are my favorite sequels. Can't go wrong with either one of them. And they both came out the same year. Funny enough. Madman is a C. Blood Rage is not cranberry sauce. That's not cranberry sauce. Love Madman, you know that. Oh, so do I. Mernsey with another hot take. Yeah, that one I agree. That's a hot take. Albert Cole is in the house. Honestly, I find slashers to be either very good or very bad. Yeah, I mean, if you look at my list, right? We do have a lot of very good, right? A lot of A's, a lot of S's. Not too much in B and C and D. Not too much, really. And then only 3 failures. That's amazing that I only failed 3 of these movies, really. I mean, Prom Night got lucky. Prom Night probably should be an F, but I was talked out of it. Halloween 2 really is in the front of 78 by a drop. Warlock is my best. I agree with you. I know I talked with Alpha about that. Alpha Romero was telling me he felt Dick Warlock was way too robotic about it, and I totally hear that. I don't know. For me, though, I love Dick Warlock better, too. And I met him. I met Dick Warlock. Really nice guy. Really cool people. Madman's classic, seen it once. Madman is a B. Alexis Dubin, you got to meet her finally, didn't you? I think you got to meet her. I met her too. But we didn't. I talked Dawn of the Dead. I couldn't miss that opportunity. Whopper, no, don't do that to me. Oh no, my heart is broken. Silent Night, Deadly Night is an A. Sleepaway Camp's a B. Okay. Toolbox Murder is a D. All right, we're right on the same page with all of those. Silent Night, Deadly Night, my first holiday-themed horror movie of A+. I really like it, too. Can't stick around, just drop it in, say hello, and drop that like. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate that. Hope all's well with you, buddy. In Silent Night, Deadly Night, I love when the robber sarcastically says, $31, Merry fucking Christmas. Oh, shit. Okay. So for now, let's move on from the slashers. I think we did enough slashers, about an hour and a half worth of slashers there. And we can move on to some posters. I did, but she wasn't willing to talk. That's right. But now apparently she's okay about talking about it because she did the interview for the 4K. So very weird. That is so odd. I don't know. But I talked to her about Dawn of the Dead. It was really cool. Her and Christine Romero. Speaking of Romero, what better segue to our ranking of movie posters? Now, I had classic movie posters up here. But you know what? I'm going to take a page from the legend himself, Alpha Romero, and we're going to do George Romero posters, and we're going to rank these sons of bitches. Now, Alpha just did this show not even a week ago, but because I got canceled on a day in advance, so I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not do it? I put these as an option, and slasher movies one, of course, but let's do ranking the posters of George A. Romero, and we have all these categories, not S through F, but we have, of course, the best is Hang It in the Louvre, Frame It, Thumbtack It, Tape, and Roll It Up. I don't know about Tape. Let's take Tape out. Let's delete that row because I think he just had these 4 here. Roll It Up. This was a fun stream that Alpha Romero did, and I figured, you know what? Why don't we do it? So let's rank these posters of the legend himself, Mr. George Romero. Why not? Why not we rank these posters, of course, from the worst being Roll It Up, Put It Away, and, of course, the best being Hang It in the Louvre, Hang It in the Man Cave, Hang It for everyone to see. And we will start off with a little movie from 1988, a little killer animal flick, if you will. I'm talking about Monkey Shines. Yes, Monkey Shines from 1988. We got any Monkey Shines fans in the house? It's a Romero film that I've always wanted to like more, but it's one that I'm very middle of the road. Like the movie itself is like a C for me. But as far as the poster, I quite like it, right? It's simple. yet effective. And I think the new movie, The Monkey, that kind of ripped off this poster a little bit, right? It's the toy monkey playing with the, the symbols and stuff like that. It has the little nursery rhyme on it of the monkey. About him and the friend, him and his like guy that he's going to be watching and protecting, taking over for. I always liked that little nursery rhyme on it. What do we think of this? Where do we think of Monkey Shines being on the posters list here? Do we like it, or are we putting it in roll it up, thumbtacks, frame it, or hang it in the Louvre? What do we think of the poster design for this one? Where is Basket Case? Basket Case, no, it didn't make the list here, but I do love Basket Case. And if you want to get your Basket Case fixed, Brianne, we did do an episode on Basket Case, me, Mernsey, and Will. We did a really fun one on all of them. I was about to say that the poster looks awful similar to the Monkey 2025. Frame it. Okay, Brett says frame it. Mateo says C. Sorry, Grande. Okay. So does that mean when you say C, do you mean thumbtacks it? So Mateo says thumbtacks it. Brett says frame it. Does anybody else have any thoughts on this one? Because this I figure would be a lot of fun for us. That fake beard is so distracting. Fake beard. What are you talking about? Hi, John and the Graveyard, just getting here. I have a favorite Romero cover art. Hopefully it is in the list. Well, I'll show you. You know what? While people decide what they want to do with Monkey Shines, I could show you the list down here. And this, of course, was made by Alpha Romero. Shout out to him. Shout out to the man himself. One of my favorite channels on here. One of my best friends on here. These are all the Romero artworks he did. Again, we don't have to do all of them, but obviously I figured this would be fun with rank posters. For a change, something different. Monkey Shine surprised me. I didn't know Romero did anything besides Living Dead / zombie movie posters. Frame it. Okay, so we have 2 for frame it, 1 for, I think Mateo's saying thumbtacks. AJ, I don't understand what he's saying of that fake beard is so distracting. What are you fucking talking about? I don't understand. So you know what? I think I'm with, I don't know. I'm thumbtacking this one. This is not one of my favorite Romero posters. I like the movie okay. But yeah, I'm thumbtacking this one. This one's okay, but I'm not going to spend this nice frame and space. Like, no, thumbtack it. Let's move on. This one is the Italian Night of the Living Dead artwork, which is really cool. I wish there was a way I could show these a little bit bigger. Is there any way I can do that here? Because it's really hard to see. I don't know if I could make this a little bit, like, maybe that's a little too big. I know it's better. Okay, so it's a little bit more of a visual here. If we can get rid of these advertisements that are fucking everywhere. Holy shit, man. What the fuck? Okay, so this is the next one here. If you can fucking see here, the the Night of the Living Dead Italian poster. La Notte del Morte. Yes. What do we think of this one? I think this one's kind of cool. I like it. The dude in the wheelchair, total fake beard. Oh, you're talking about okay, I was like totally confused. The Crazies is such a scary movie poster. The image of a person looking like someone going into a smoking place. Yeah, that's a good point. La Notte de Morte Vivente. Yes, the Italian night of the Louvre. Okay, so you're putting this one in the Louvre. Okay. Anyone else have some thoughts on this one? As in the meantime, I'm going to try to get these ads down. What the hell, man? We don't need advertisements like this. This show is not sponsored by fucking Best Buy. I don't know if there's any getting rid of these. So sorry. Maybe if I backs out a little bit more, maybe that'll be a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit better, but nothing great. Let's see. Hanging it in the Louvre. Okay. Rolling it up. Okay. Mateo's not a fan of it at all. And he's straight out of from Italy. So I'm shocked. Mateo's not for it at all. Hanging it up. 2 people hanging it in the Louvre, and Mateo's rolling it up. Anyone else want to weigh in on this? Rolling it up, thumbtacking it, or are we framing this son of a bitch? What are we doing here? As Starbucks ads pop up, man. What the fuck? This episode of Grande's Graveyard is not sponsored by Best Buy or fucking. You need an ad blocker. Yeah, I do, but it wasn't on the other one. I don't know why it's on this, but it is what it is. I have no idea. It doesn't even give me the option to close them. I don't think. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that one. Stop seeing this ad. And then this one doesn't have an X, so it's what it is. We just have to live with it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I've sold out to the WWE. I don't mind this one. I might thumbtax this one too. I'm going to thumbtax this one as well. I don't know. That one's okay at best. This next one, I don't know. I don't like this at all. This is, I think, a zombie, Italian zombie poster for Dawn of the Dead. I don't like this at all, man. I think that's ugly. It's just, I don't know. And it's hard to see. We're sticking that one and roll it up and just moving on because that one's just terrible. I don't know. Diary of the Dead. Anybody Diary of the Dead fan in here? Because I like Diary of the Dead. I think Diary of the Dead is actually his last like decent movie. Frame it. Which one are you framing? Are you framing the zombie Italian one, or are we framing Diary of the Dead? Because I moved on for the zombie. That one just being rolled up for me, the zombie Italian one. That was just horrible. I don't like that at all. Roll Up Diary. Oh, poor Diary. I like Diary enough. Guilty pleasure for me. Total guilty pleasure for me. I always liked it. Rolling Diary. All right, you know what? I'll give it to the peer pressure. You guys want to roll Diary? We can keep Diary in there. No problem. No problem. Martin, where are you? Where's John Amplis at? Martin is a boy with problems. While that is so simple, the Martin poster, right? Just Martin in black text with the little stake for the T and the blood dripping off. I love that. I really love that. I'm framing that one. I don't know about y'all, but I'm framing Martin. I like this. I like this Martin. It's simple. It's not as great as the US one sheet where it says like made in the USA on the razor blade, but I actually really like the Martin poster. I'm going to say frame that one for sure. As I still will try to get rid of these fucking ads. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, stop seeing ads. This is so brutal. Not interested. Not interested. Please close these ads for me. Thumbtack and Martin. Yeah, no, it's very simplex. Like, there's really not much to it. I don't know. I can see why you wouldn't be big on it, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I like Martin. I like the one sheet at least. I think it's okay. Let's see. This one is like an Italian crazies poster, which is pretty cool, which I'm trying to read this here. What does it say? La Cita Vera Distruta al Alba. Yes, that is. I don't know what that translates to, but it is the crazies poster. It's very similar to the US poster, like almost identical. I would probably frame this one too. I like this. I like the design for some reason. Like I always like the design for that movie, that poster at least. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the better Romero movies from that time. I really like the Crazies a lot. That's another really, really good one. As we gotta, maybe if we back out a little bit with these ads, man, holy shit. Like they're everywhere. They're taking over. No good with those. Now here's one. That would be a hot take. And I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on this. I never really liked the Creepshow one sheet. I don't really like this poster. I love the movie. But for me, the whole movie of Creepshow is about the colors and the EC Comics and the world and the Stephen King writing and George's fun editing and of course, the Something to Tide You Over segment. So much good stuff in Creepshow the movie. But for the posters for me to be this drab and colorless, I just don't like that poster. I've never liked it. I don't know. It's just something that maybe it's just me, but it's just too generic. It's just the fucking creeper standing at a ticket booth at Mint One with these dark red drag. I don't know. To me, Creepshow, it's everything about it should be colorful and grand and like inviting you in where it doesn't. I don't know. I would hang it up. I would totally. I would roll it up for sure. The city is going to be destroyed at dawn. That's what it translates to. Oh man, that's awesome. The poster for Creepshow with the image of the skeleton at the theater box office. Okay, so you like that one. Hanger for sure reminds me of a Misfits album cover. Yeah, it's true. AJ's hanging it in the Louvre. Most people would hang this in the Louvre. I think I'm one of the only people that's going to fucking roll this one up. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. I never really liked that poster for some reason. I know. Weird minority. Hungry Wives. Has anyone seen Hungry Wives, a.k.a. Jack's wife, a.k.a. what the title is mostly known for? Season of the Witch. Cue the Donovan song. Must be the season of the witch. Season of the Witch. I really like the movie a lot. I've come around a lot of the movie. This was, of course, one of the posters that, of course, the distributor was trying to sell this movie as. Hungry Wives. Almost looks like a porn poster, right? It's got the bright pink text. It's got some good seductive looking women in the front of it. You would think this is something that was made by Roger Corman or somebody like, Lloyd Kaufman, somebody that was making a movie for really cheap. They just want to get a bunch of good looking women on the front to try to sell the movie, pay them a little and make a lot. That was the whole idea of a lot of marketers at this time. And that's what they tried to do with Romero's film. And it's funny because Jack's Wife is nothing like that. Jack's Wife / Season of the Witch, it's much more this movie about this woman that does not feel, I don't want to say not feel desirable anymore, but she feels like she doesn't matter. Her opinion, her voice, her personality, all of it is just kind of fallen by the wayside. And it's, of course, one night where she gets high with Ray Lane and they're talking and smoking pot and things like that, where she really wants to empower herself. So she starts to kind of discover and study black magic and then gets into all these wacky things. Hungry Wives was just a name they tried to use to sell it. This was a movie where, unfortunately, they could never, no matter what title they use, Season of the Witch, Jack's Wife, Hungry Wives, they could never sell this thing. But as weird as this will sound, I know this will sound crazy. This will be my first hanging in the Louvre. I love this poster design because it's distinctly 1970s. Nothing screams the 70s more than something like this. That color of the text, the black and white photos of the women just posing for the poster. I don't know. That's just something that would only happen in the 1970s. So I had to go with that one, man. That was totally a slam dunk for me. I love the Hungry Wives poster. That's an awesome one. Let's see what we got next. Night of the Living Dead. This is I think one of the UK video posters. I don't know. And it's going to be hard to see. It's the only thing that sucks about some of these is going to be impossible to see. I will move on. We'll thumbtack that one. Diary of the Dead. See, to me, this one is way worse than the first Diary of the Dead. The Diary of the Dead we have here, I'll maybe thumbtack. I like this poster. This one looks like it was made for 5 minutes in somebody's fucking house. This looks like it was made in Adobe Photoshop or something. Whereas Diary of the Dead, the most generic red text, some fucking guy holding a camera, and then they just inserted a picture of zombies in the back. That is horrible. That really looks like it was made in somebody's fucking shed or something. That is a horrible poster. Roll that shit up. Bruiser from 2000. I really love the movie Bruiser, but that is a horrible, atrocious piece of artwork. Oh my God. It makes it look like a neo-noir or something with the white mask and then a fucking person in black walking off into the city. What the fuck? It has nothing to do with Bruiser other than the white mask. That is horrible. I hate that poster. That is just absolutely terrible. And it looks like Haddonfield's with me rolling that Bruiser. Yeah. Yo Mama's here. Yo. Joe Mama's in the house. Hey, Slasher Creep Show was an EC Comics, so Calamity came first. Oh, okay. I say Slasher Fred. I missed him. He was talking about Corman's Calamity, which is a Tales from the Crypt episode. Two Evil Eyes. Horrible Romero movie. I would say my least favorite George Romero movie, and the hype that was around that movie, considering it was Dario and it was George together, you would think those being my top two filmmakers, that would be my favorite movie of all time. And it's really one of my least favorite from both of them. I just never liked either segment. George's looks like Murder, She Wrote. And then Dario's is just all over the place mess. I don't know. I never liked Two Evil Eyes, the movie. The poster is okay. I might thumbtack it just to have something with George and Dario's name on it, right? I might frame Two Evil Eyes. Okay. I like the idea. What makes Night of the Living Dead a classic is how it came out at the same time that Dr. King was assassinated. Oh, well, that was a completely incidental too. They had heard he had been assassinated while they were driving back to the city with the film. So it was completely accidental. But of course, a lot of people thought that he was trying to say something with that. So thus garnered a lot more impact and discussion about the film. Dawn of the Dead, I love this. Hang it in the Louvre for sure. I have reprints of the original Dawn of the Dead. I have this reprint. I always wanted to get a one sheet of Dawn, but it's to the point now where they run $2,000 plus, and I'm never going to spend $2,000. Unless it's like Sleepaway Camp 2, I could never spend $2,000 on a poster. It's just too much money. But Dawn of the Dead, that is one of my all-time favorite posters. Just the zombie with the distorted face, and first there was Night of the Living Dead. Now the darkest motion picture of all time, Dawn of the Dead. Dawn, Louvre, yeah. They also have, of course, I guess skip ahead here because we were talking Dawn of the Dead. They, of course, have the green Dawn of the Dead, which this is the actual original one sheet where it was the green text on the bottom, not the red. The red was a reprint in the 80s, whereas the Dawn and the green print was the original one sheet poster design. To me, they're both awesome. The green does work somewhat more, though, for some reason. It just works perfectly with that like purple pinkish background and the zombie head and that green, bright green text. So good, man. To me, like, other than Sleepaway Camp 2, it's the number one horror movie poster one sheet that I would like to buy in my life. If I ever find it for the right price, I will do it. But I will say that I think that day has passed. Like, the day to get it at like $800 would have been like 10 years ago, and I should have done it then. And now that I've waited, it's up to like $2,300 if you want one in good shape. And what's unfortunate too is a lot of people have passed, right? You know, like I would love to have met David Epstein Hepside. He's gone now. Like to me, the beautiful thing of a one sheet is meeting the whole cast, as many people from the cast as you can. You know, and I have get to meet Scott Reiniger. I met Ken Foray. I met, you know, Alexis Dubin, Galen Ross, whatever you want to call her. That was so cool, but it would have been even cooler if they could have signed the one sheet for me. Like that would be the only thing that could have made those interactions better. Picked up a beautiful Basket Case 3 poster of Monster Mania with you, buddy. Dude, we did. That's right. And I don't know if you remember this, but they had a Monkey Shines poster too. The guy was selling it for like $160. And I was like, dude, that's way too much. Monkey Shine shouldn't be any more than $20-$40. He goes, that's what it costs. When I told Alpha that, he was like, buddy, that guy is fucking, you know, crack, man. Two Evil Eyes, the first time I watched it, it was such a letdown that I have to watch Suspiria right after. Dude, I'm so similar to that. Like, you got to, like, a lot of the times, and I'm like you, and I'll quote the great Matteo Appendino, John, sometimes I go into movies with expectations lower than the floor. I'm the same way with most movies. That was a movie. My expectations were higher than heaven itself. If it's there, it was higher than heaven itself. I was so excited to see Two Evil Eyes until the fucking movie started. Horrible. I hate that movie. I really do. I forever will hate Two Evil Eyes. It's such a letdown. Horror's biggest disappointment ever. There, I said it. Martin with the skeleton hands and I don't like that at all. This Martin one, man, it's just terrible. That's awful, man. I don't like this poster at all. No, I would totally roll that one up. That's like, I don't know what era or what market this particular one was, but it's just ugly. Like the skeleton hands totally ruined this, and it's just really drab. Like even this regular one, I framed this Martin with the blood on the end of it. That one's okay. This one, I would never hang that up. That looks like a shitty like record album cover or something. I do not like that. The Affair, which is AKA There's Always Vanilla, which if you've actually seen the one sheet of There's Always Vanilla with the artwork with Judith Ridley on both sides and Ray Lane sitting in the tree, that's like, I love that artwork. That would have been hanging in the Louvre, no question. The problem is The Affair, it's just, this is awful. That's neither Judith Ridley or Ray Lane. The title of The Affair is so freaking generic. I hate the title of The Affair. Like There's Always Vanilla is a better title than The Affair, which is not even what the movie is. Like I hate this poster. This might be the worst poster on here is The Affair. That's just like, that looks like a bad movie that would show at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Turner Classic Movies or something. That's terrible. Night of the Living Dead, the original one sheet. I think we're hanging this one at the Louvre. No, I love the original Night of the Living Dead poster. That is just excellent. The green text, the dark green text, and then just great still images from the whole movie. That poster really sells it well. I've got to say, like, this looks so good. Like, you have Marilyn Eastman and, of course, Judith Ridley. We've got Dwayne Jones. We've got all these great characters in the film of moments and things like that when of course, Marilyn Eastman's getting killed by Karen Cooper. Love that. I think that's a great poster. Always love Night of the Living Dead. I think that's a great movie and an even better poster. I love that poster. That's like one of my all-time favorite posters for sure. Let's see. Land of the Dead. Man, roll it up. I don't like Land of the Dead, the movie, and I don't like that poster. That's such a boring poster. The Apocalypse, this ugly green saw filter, and generic red text. No way, Jose. I hate that. That's no good either. This one a bruiser? I don't know. This bruiser one is not that great. I'm not a big fan of some of the artwork for Bruiser. I like the movie, and this is the artwork that's on the 4K from Indicator, I think. Looks like Pino from Final Fantasy 5. Pino, stop fucking around. Where's Mickey Rooney when you need him? Mickey Rooney should have been in Bruiser. That would have been funny as hell. But yeah, no, I don't. This is horrible too. That is just awful, awful. Now, you want to talk great creep show artwork, you talk about this one right here. Creep show with the kid reading the comic book. I'm sorry, that's a slam dunk hanging in the Louvre. That's great. And if you look closely at the poster, you can see that the kid is reading Carrie, and the kid has the Dawn of the Dead poster on the wall, The Shining, and it's all Stephen King and George is kind of all over it. And then the creeper in the window, like, hello, Billy. Like, I love that. I thought that was really cool. I have a shirt of that too. That to me should have been the theatrical poster for Creepshow. I think that's such a better, more inviting poster for that movie. It's literally the cover of a comic book, which to me makes so much more sense than the creeper like admit one in the window. But I know I'm in the minority of that admit one in the window people say is classic. I don't know, sort of iffy on that. But I think this one, gotta hang that one in the Louvre. Like, that's just perfect. I love that. Couple more here. Night Riders, I'd frame that. That's a pretty cool one. I like it. Ed Harris in the night suit, and of course on the motorcycle with the shield. I like that movie. I like that movie a lot. I think that's one of George's better movies. I know it was like his most personal film. Meteor shit. Yes, where's Jordy Verrill at? I love Jordy Verrill. But Night Riders is great. Ed Harris does a really good job. Tom Savini's really good in the movie. You know, people like Warner Shook in there, Ken Foray, Scott Reiniger, Patty Tallman, just great stuff. I really like Night Riders, and I like that poster. I think that's a good one. It's simple, but I like the medieval, like orange and yellow mix there, and the whole Ed Harris. I don't know. I like Night Riders poster. That's a good one. Day of the Dead, which I could barely make this out myself. I don't know. I can't really make that one out to say anything about that one. The zombie one, this was the Italian one sheet for Dawn of the Dead. Not as good as the American ones here, but I definitely think it's up there. Like, I would totally put it right next to them because it's basically the same artwork, which is the red text as zombie instead of the green text, if you will. This one might be an unpopular opinion. Dark Half, I would hang in the Louvre. I love that artwork. I really like that. Thad Beaumont. I have the VHS of that movie as well, and I really always liked the purple cover art. Now, I will say this might be controversial because I know a lot of people are going to get that Shout Factory. I'm sorry, not Shout Factory. It was Vinegar Syndrome did the 4K. Dude, I'm sorry. That cover art was so bad, I couldn't do it. Like, I liked the Dark Half okay, but no, I'm not moving on from that artwork. Like, the artwork of here with this purple and Thad Beaumont in the trees, of course, Timothy Hutton. I really like that. I always thought that was really cool artwork. The little red bird and the yellow text that says The Dark Half from Stephen King and George Romero. I like that a lot. I think that's a really, it's not a great movie, but I like the artwork a lot. Quick one here. Survival of the Dead. Roll it up. Come on. Horrible. Day of the Dead, total hanging in the Louvre. And I have the reprint of this. I always loved the top being night, the middle being dawn, and then the darkest day in horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead. Love that, man. Love these designs because you have a little bit of each of the trilogy. You have night, dawn, and day all one poster as we bang out the end of that trilogy. That's a easy S tier hanging in the Louvre for me. Last couple here. This was the Creep Show. I think the Warner Brothers, like, I don't know what this was, the Standee or something like that. This one's like, I think, frame it. I would totally frame that. I like that one too. Simple, but it's effective, and it sold the movie really well. The movie, that was his, like, only George's only #1 movie ever made. I think that opened #1 at the box office. This one, Zombie, I put it right up there with the others. It's just that Dawn of the Dead is always going in the Louvre. Land of the Dead with the Hand, maybe we thumbtack that one. That one's okay. Kind of bland, kind of boring. And then the last one, but not leastly, the Crazies. I think the American poster is way better. I love this yellow. I love the red, bright red text. Awesome stuff. I think this is great. I love the Crazies poster here. I would probably hang it in the Louvre as well. I think that's an awesome design. So yeah, a lot of roll it ups here, but some of my faves, of course, all the Dawn of the Dead designs, being my favorite movie, I had to. Night of the Living Dead is great. Creep Show, this is a promotional poster, but not the one sheet. Really like that. Dark Half is great. Day of the Dead's iconic. And the Crazies, just again, the grindhouse exploitative style of that movie and the way it fits with this poster with that dark yellow and the red at the bottom. Really like that a lot. And I do like the porn Hungry Wives one. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I like it. Day of the Dead is my favorite, not the one you have, the yellow one with Bub on the cover. Okay, so you're talking about the Anchor Bay one, which would have been it's Bub and the horde of zombies behind him. That's a great cover too. That was the Anchor Bay DVD came out where you could flip open Bub's head, or you could open it up almost like a little booklet and it popped out and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought that was really cool as well. And Reagan Romero posters I thought would be something kind of fun and unique, considering when I put up the poll for this, it was either slasher movies or posters or George Romero's filmography. And the Romero's filmography and the posters tied. So I figured, why not do the Romero posters to give those people who voted for either one a little bit of bang for their buck for their vote, even though they didn't win. The main show is the slasher movies ranked, but it was fun to do the posters for a change at the end. I don't know if people like that. I'm sorry if they did, but I figured it'd be something fun for a change, something fun for a little bit different. So it is what it is. But this was a lot of fun, guys. It's been about 2 hours. Unless you guys want to talk about something else, which again, not rushing out of here. Unless you guys want to talk about stuff, I'm here. This is an open forum, open show, more of a fun one. But we got around for about 2 hours too, so I can totally see wrapping it up as well. I do want to say thank you guys, and obviously it was fun to rank all these slasher movies and horror movie posters, if you will. I do really like ranking stuff, and in fact, next week, I guess a cheap plug for next week, we will be counting down my top 10 favorite Twilight Zone episodes. Yes, I've never done a Granny's Graveyard on my top 10. It's always been seasons and episodes individually ranked. Well, now I have to take 156 episodes and I have to narrow them down to 10. So that's next week on Granny's Graveyard, where I will count down my top 10 favorite Twilight Zone episodes. I'm debating putting like a top 5 worst, a bottom 5. I thought that would just be fun because no one's ever negative about the Twilight Zone. I figured, why not be negative for a change? So we'll see. We'll see what comes with that, but we will guarantee the top 10 Twilight Zones for sure. Let's see. John says, this was sweet. The posters were a surprise. Have a great night, guys. Yeah, absolutely. I figured the posters we did an hour and a half of the slashers. I figured, let's do a half hour of posters. Why not? Because I felt bad because so many people were like, do the posters. I'd rather you do that. And I was like, I want to try to appease everybody in some way. So hopefully I did. Another fun show. Thank you so much, Ryan Hadley. Thank you. Awesome show for a last minute type of deal. Yeah, this could have gone horribly wrong. Generally, I'm so prepared for these. And when I got canceled, I was like, oh shit, like what do I fucking do? So I immediately was like, let me see what the people want. And then, the vote was really close. So I was like, let me try to do a little bit of everything, but the main one will be whatever wins. So hopefully I appeased. If not, it is what it is. I did my best. Mateo throwing me one of these. Thank you so much, buddy. Love TZ. Next month looks great all around. Yes, very excited for July. 5 shows in July. And absolutely no regrets on Granny's Graveyard. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you're catching the replay, comment down below and let me know what you think of the slasher movies that I ranked. Were any of them crazy? Should Sleepaway Camp 3, should I be committed to an asylum for putting that in the S tier? Should I be committed to burying Fatal Games? I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. And of course, the Romero posters at the end. I'm going to message Alpha Romero because he didn't show up, but he's going to be like, buddy, you're trying to rip off my gimmick with the posters of Romero. I thought that was funny. He did make the list, so shout out to Alpha. Very good people. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. I had a really fun time. So everybody, thank you so much. Have a safe, happy, healthy weekend, and we will catch you next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet, peace, and good night, everybody. Cheers.